All right, folks, we are live officially for the Grok V4 release. Elon is going live, probably not at 11 o'clock Eastern, which is 8 p.m. Pacific. I doubt they're going to start on time, but hopefully they start soon. Elon actually did say some stuff, though, in the past 20 minutes that is making some news, so we'll talk about that in a second. But yeah, we got Grok V4. I am excited. I am a power user of Grok every single day. So hopefully we can get Grok V4 tonight. Last time they did V3, it came out immediately. Shout out to Farzad. Admit you're grounded. I'm here. I'm live. And so hopefully they give us V4 again tonight. And we'll be able to mess around with it and see if it's better than GPT-4o and Llama and Anthropic and all these models. I mean, it would be really cool to see if Grok can go around. A lot of the XAI employees on Twitter have been hyping the crap out of this event. They're like, dude, you guys have no idea what to expect. This is going to be crazy. So I am excited to see what they introduce. And I'm also excited to see what statistics they show in regards to the level of GPUs, data centers, superclusters, etc., that ultimately they're deploying to be able to build one of the best LLMs, at least for me. Like, I don't pay for ChatGPT. I pay for X Premium Plus, which is like $50 a month. So I use Grok every day because that's just the easiest for me. And I like it, dude. It gets the job done. And in many cases, it's way faster than GPT. So that's why I've been a daily active user for that product for a while. I'm really curious to see what they've got cooking. Yeah, me too. Now, again, the controversy yesterday was Grok started to get unhinged and started saying some crazy stuff. So I don't know if they're going to reference that. They might make a joke about it of just like, yeah, no, we had some issues, but here's V4. I think they fixed it over the past 24 hours. And now if you like at Grok inside of Twitter, it'll actually respond to you. But yesterday was being a little reckless. So this is the stuff that happens with AI, right? This is the nature of the world that we live in. But I do think V4 is going to have some fun stuff that we've not heard about before, some tricks up their sleeve, essentially, because everyone's kind of been saying, you know, ChatGPT is winning the race when it comes to AI. The daily active users on GPT, people are saying it's upwards of 1 billion, or monthly is 1 billion. Daily active is like 500 million. If Grok can even get anywhere near that right now, I think it's at like 150 million. Then that would be very bullish. It's supposed to be live right now. It is not live in an hour. It should happen immediately. Yeah, video generation, audio generation, picture generation, like even like Google's VO3, if they can match some of that stuff. There's a lot of different things I think they can introduce, which would be exciting to see. Markets right here. Tesla's actually up a little bit, up almost 1%. NVIDIA 163, S&P 623. And that's because Mr. Elon did say some stuff about Tessie. He said Robotaxi will be expanding to a larger surface area in Austin this weekend. So you got Robotaxi geofencing that's going to be increasing in Austin, which is super bullish because now that's giving people more opportunities to use robotaxis. And then Elon also said, let me pull this up right here, that the Bay Area, he's waiting on regulatory approvals, but probably in a month or two, we should be getting the Bay Area. Yeah, still invite only, but they are extending more invites, which is what I've seen. But it's going to be exciting. New geofence going to have way more interesting situations. Yeah, I mean, like, again, and the more you expand, the more opportunities you could have for things to go wrong, but also the more aggressive they are, you know, the more potential there is to actually see momentum in the overall robotaxi thesis. Our boy Farzad, who's in the chat right now, guys, this guy's a literal celebrity, bro. A literal celebrity. He quote tweeted Stephen Mark Ryan, who drew a image of what the new geofence could look like for Austin. And the world's richest man, $300 billion net worth, is responding to him with emojis. Like, this guy's he's just casually talking with Elon every day, quote tweeting, writing letters to him. Elon's reading his letters. Like, I mean, I think in the past couple of days, Elon probably has more respect for our boy Farzad than Dan Ives, because I'm just saying, but still, like, he's a literal celebrity, bro. He's out here just talking to Elon every day. But it's going to be exciting. It's going to be exciting. I don't think they're going to start on time. They're not live yet on their account. They probably will go live from the XAI account. It says the Grok 4 live stream will begin soon. Stay tuned. Okay, cool. Hopefully in like 5-10 minutes. And then we'll go live. Just two friends having fun. Yeah, literally, bro. Literally. And Farzad is, people think that Farzad only praises Elon. Farzad is critical of Elon as well. Like, he puts out tons of tweets about things that he thinks Elon could do better, that Elon is maybe not doing the best for, he's talked about Elon's political endeavors, etc. And Elon reads them and takes them seriously. Like, Elon actually takes the constructive criticism from Farzad, but he doesn't take it from Dan Ives, but he takes it from Farzad. He actually appreciates when he puts out that stuff. Geofencing is to make sure there are enough taxis in the area to use, and not because there's some mapping. That's fair. And again, look, FSD is. I was just my mom needed to go to the grocery store local to us to get some stuff for my grandparents. So we took our grandparents with us, and my mom actually drove my Tesla for the first time tonight. Like literally 2 hours ago. We had 9 p.m. We were there, and she drove it for the first time. My Tesla. I know I've had the Tesla for 8 months, but she's never. My sister actually took her car, so our car wasn't available, and she really needed to go. So she drove my Tesla for the first time, and she did FSD for the first time. So it was really cool because I was just press it down and just relax, and it drove us to the grocery store in 15 minutes. And so we know the technology's there; it's getting better. The geofencing stuff is just a question of how fast can they expand, and how much can they make sure that the demand and wait times are reasonable from a supply-demand perspective, but also make sure that their AI is ready to handle all the edge cases, which obviously will come up as they expand the locations. But it was really cool because she experienced FSD. She's experienced it with me, being in the driver's seat, but this time she was in the driver's seat. She literally said, this is magic. As it was pulling into the supermarket, and then she took control to park it. It was the final thing it had to do to pull into the supermarket parking lot, and she was like, "Wow, this is magic. This is legit magic." And so it's cool, bro. It is magic. It really, every time I get into FSD, it's just magic. But now when they can do it from an unsupervised perspective, it would basically spread to the entire world, which I think is going to take time. But if Elon can, surpass our expectations on how fast or how long it's going to take, it would be very exciting. I think unsupervised FSD later this year is going to be a huge deal. Tesla's going to be able to market it super heavy. Yeah, and this is also why I think the stock, even with this whole America Party stuff, if 5% was the worst that people, expect. I think people expected it to be way worse than 5%. 330 to 297 is just it's not even a dip. I think the street just knows where this is going, and they're not going to punish Tesla regardless of bad earnings, because they know where the future is coming. Buy a Tesla and get driven everywhere without having to pay attention anywhere, starting at 38K. Yeah, I think Tesla should give FSD away for free for a year. I just think so many people, and Farzad knows this better than most people, but most people that buy a Tesla, they don't even know that it can drive itself. The marketing on FSD is just not good. And if they gave it for free, I think so many people would get hooked on it, because I'm telling you, I would cancel my Netflix subscription before FSD. I just would. It's not, it's night and day, dude. I don't care about Netflix as much as I care about not having to drive every time I get in the car. So I'm hooked on it now. And I think if more people are, then it would be pretty cool. Bro, can you get a new chair? It's peeling out. Okay, I got to show you guys something. So I just ordered a new chair on Amazon because dude, when I say I've been sitting on this thing for a while, yeah, this happened today. So I literally just ordered a new chair. Although it would be funny if we tape it and we put it back here. You might notice something's different. This part is not here anymore. But I think this was a sign today to be yeah, probably I need to use Prime Day from Amazon and buy a new chair. What were you doing on the chair? No, I was just I don't even know, dude. I think I just put this thing is just so old. I think I put my hand too hard on it or something. It just came up. I was like, oh, okay. It's an old chair at this point. It is what it is. It would be kind of cool to tape it back though. That would be kind of dope. So yeah, I don't know. I think it's freaking time. It's time to get a new chair. I have a standing desk already. But the chair has not been cooperating. Netflix right here, down a little bit after hours. Palantir kind of flat. Tessie 297. Nvidia 163. S&P 500 is also flat after Trump announced 50% tariffs on Brazil and 30% on Sri Lanka. Yeah, I shook the bell too hard. Exactly. That's what I did. Dude, this freaking guy. Shout out to Farzad. Thank you. The chair cost like I think it was literally $100 that I paid, or 120 or whatever. So thank you, Farzad. Everyone can say thank you to Farzad in the chat. He just paid for the new chair. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you for being here. Once XAI goes live, we will be seeing what they have to say. But every one match now where I will deport. No, Farzad's been on this whole deporting trend. He said this underneath my post the other day. Oh, we do have some updates on the NASA director as well. That has been a new update that I think some people will be upset by, but nonetheless, it's happening. Farzad said yesterday, Amit, I'm officially deporting you back to India, after I said Steve Bannon wanted to deport Elon Musk. And I said, to be honest, India might be colder than New Jersey. And he said, why would anyone choose to live in New Jersey? I will never understand. Why subject yourself to that sorry-ass state? And I said, New Jersey's better than New York. And then he was like, or I think then Chad came in, and Chad was like, I hate New Jersey too. And I was like, dude, we don't have to pump our own gas. What are you talking about? How could you hate New Jersey? We don't have to pump our or we don't have to pump our gas. Like, that's like, dude, when I was with Arnie in DC coming back from the Palantir event, and I drove us back, and I had to like pump gas. And Arnie's from Italy, so he was like, we pulled up, and I was just like sitting in the car in the driver's seat, and I was just waiting, and he was like, "Are you gonna get the gas?" I was like, "What are you talking about? I'm waiting for the gas attendant to go." He's like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "I'm waiting for the person to pump our gas," and he's like, okay. And then we just sat there for 2 minutes like, is anyone gonna pump my gas? And I was like, oh shit, I'm in DC, I'm not in Jersey anymore. Like, I gotta actually pump this shit. And I was like, how do you even like, but New Jersey's the greatest state because we don't have to pump our gas. We don't have to pump it. Eggs and tacos, thank you for the $20 super chat, remaining chair fund. Appreciate you. I think you gave a super chat already on the last live stream, so appreciate you. Thank you for being here. We officially have a new chair because of Farzad and eggs and tacos. So there you go. Well, now I don't need to pump my gas because I have the Tessie, but like I learned how to do it, but I do it for the, like, I had a car since 2019. I've never did it because in New Jersey, you would just have someone do it for you. But now I plug my Tesla in myself here. Forget the gas pump my stocks. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I once watched a NJ lady hold up a busy gas station in Delaware for 15 minutes because she didn't know how to pump gas. There you go, bro. We don't know how to do it. And that's okay, though. That's okay. It is what it is. Okay, speaking of Elon and Tesla, this is some news that came out tonight. Trump announced that Sean Duffy is now going to be the interim administrator of NASA. This was supposed to be Jarek Isaacman's job. This is one of the things that I think really pissed off Elon, because Trump said he didn't give the job to Jared Isaacman although he was literally the most qualified person to have that job because he was too quote unquote Democratic, like he was too much of a Democrat, and that really pissed off Elon. So the Sean Duffy guy, who was the Secretary of Transportation, is now the interim director of NASA. Elon was not happy about that, but nonetheless, that's what we got. I hope FSD provides better accuracy than Grok. Dude, FSD, again, it's only going to get better, but I'm so happy I didn't have to deal with the crappy versions of it like 5 years ago. I think I get it at almost its best version. Like FSD 14 should be like just amazing. FSD 13.5. I think I have another one. I have to upgrade because I got the notification today, but it's pretty incredible. And so that is a good point, though. The hallucinations in Grok that, are there, and I still get them from time to time when I'm searching stuff. I would be interested to see how they're mathematically dealing with some of those issues long term. Jared was a much better pick. Yeah, dude. I think we all know it. Dude, I'm just going to say this right here. Like I commented this under the post. I think this week has been one of the biggest L's for the administration. So my response was, not going to lie, one of the worst weeks for the admin in a while. The only thing holding them up is the stock market. They pretty much gaslighted everybody in the Epstein situation all week. Like, it is what it is, bro. They're putting it under the rug, and no one knows why, which is why everyone sounds like a conspiracy theory. But it's like, and when you say you're a conspiracy theorist, it's really gaslighting, because they promised they were going to give us all the information and they gave us none of it. And now they're doing nonsense NASA appointments because Jared was too much of a Democrat. Like, I think this week was a pretty massive L for the administration. That doesn't mean the whole presidency is going to be an L, but this week was not handled the right way. At least not in my opinion. Dragos, thank you for the 100 super chat. You guys are being too nice, but yes, it goes to the chair. It will go to getting a new chair. I got like a full gamer chair, bro. I got like a full-on gamer chair. So I think it should look nice. And again, I've been saying this, dude. The only thing holding up this admin right now is the stock market. And the stock market has given us the benefit of the doubt. Moody's, bond auctions, tariffs, Iran, Israel, like anything that you want to say could be a bear case. The stock market has given the administration the benefit of the doubt. Earnings have supported it. And I think earnings will continue to support it. But we need some deals at this point, because I think the markets can only be up for so long without getting some actual clarity on the state of where the country's going from a tariff policy perspective. I think earnings in Q2 will be good. So I think that'll hold it up. But by the end of the summer, we kind of need some resolution on these deals. And, I hope we can get it from this administration. We also need lower rates. And the irony of tariffing Brazil by 50%. By the way, Brazil responded and they said, hey, we're just going to tariff you guys back by 50%. Like, that just becomes a stupid trade war, and that's bad for inflation, even from a perceptual perspective. Brazilian president said Brazil will retaliate to U.S. tariffs with a reciprocal 50% tariff under law of economic reciprocity. The president said Brazil-U.S. deficit is false information. U.S. government statistics say U.S. has a $410 billion surplus with Brazil over the past 15 years. I did not verify that, but that is what the Brazilian president has said. Okay, Grok's not live yet, or XAI is not live yet, but we are still waiting. Birch, thank you for the $5 super chat, because Faraday said so. You mean Farzad? Yes, because Farzad said so. Evan, thank you for the $5 super chat. Farzad sent me for the chair. Don't fart on it too hard. Spencer, thank you for the $5 super chat. Chair tax fund. And then Rebecca, thank you for the $3 super chat for the chair fund. Appreciate everybody contributing to this chair. Faraday works. There's an EV company called Faraday Future, bro. Farzad should be the ambassador for them. Because they need some marketing against Elon. This is the reason, for those that are just joining, this is the reason I already bought a new chair, so we don't need a new chair fund, but yeah, this is officially why we bought this new chair. Officially, it was time. It was time. V-Roch says, hi. Hello to you, sir. Thank you for being here. Bro is doing a seed funding round for his share. Oh, my gosh. That's hilarious. What's going to come first, FSD V14 or this Grok 4 stream? I would hope the Grok 4 stream comes first. I mean, last time they started like 25 minutes late. We got about 10 minutes left. So hopefully they'll be there. Remember, it's 8 p.m. for them on the West Coast. So it is a little bit... Yeah, put what time... put where you're watching from and what time it is. Put where you are and what time it is. For my Europeans, what time in the UK? 4:15. Time in Germany, 5:15. Okay, so a lot. If you're in the EU, you're just waking up, probably. If you're in the Northeast, then it's 11. California, 8:15. Florida, it's definitely bedtime. Yeah, dude. Time is now, baby. The time is now. Time is now. It's always now. You know that quote's from Jensen? Or I found out that quote was from Jensen. And NVIDIA 4 trillion means that the time is now. We got Idaho in the chat. Idaho is actually a big debate state. Or sorry, no, I'm thinking of Iowa. Iowa is where the National Speech and Debate Association headquarters is at. Idaho, I don't know what's in Idaho outside of potatoes, to be honest. But Idaho, it is 9:15 there. New Zealand, 3:15 p.m. Dubai, 7 a.m. Love it. The time is currently right now. Yes, that is correct. Ottawa, 11:15. Oh, that's the same as the same as New York. What's your favorite color currently right now? Central New Jersey. It's almost a full moon, so pretty tonight. Thailand, 10 a.m. Yeah, Southeast Asia. People are just waking up right now. No, there's usually never people from North Korea. Every time someone says North Korea in the chat, I don't think they're actually from North Korea. I don't think North Korea allows YouTube or any, I mean, there's some form of internet, but it's very heavily censored. So I think it would be hard for you to watch from there. Bert says, I listened to him at open, close, and in between. He has formed an impressive community. Kicking in for a chair, no matter what he is worth, is my pleasure. Thank you, sure. Bert, thank you for being here, man. We did a long market close today. Ended up yapping towards the end of the stream for like 2 hours. But appreciate you being here and appreciate you being part of the show every single day. Day in Ohio, Singapore. Singapore is early right now, you right? Yeah, 11:17 a.m. in Singapore. Dude, I'm definitely doing Singapore next year. Definitely going there. We're going to make Singapore happen. Should be fun. Should be very fun. North Korea has access to Robin. Dude, the North Korea rabbit holes are kind of crazy, bro. Like I told you, I think 2 months ago, I started watching some like heavy documentaries on North Korea, trying to understand what goes on there. The latest thing is that North Korea's Kim Jong-un's daughter has officially been like seen in public for the first time ever. And they're courting her to be the next, what do you call it? The next supreme leader. So it's kind of wild because like they've never had a woman supreme leader and we've never seen his daughter, but they finally started showing her off to the media. The rabbit hole in North Korea is just crazy, bro. Like the way that country's governed is just wild. When are you coming to Austin? Probably 2026. I don't think we're going to do Texas this year, but I wanted to. It's just we got too busy, but 2026 for sure. And Farzad, you'll be my first stop. You'll be my first stop there. Does she look like a sister? Well, let's look at this. This is a 2-minute clip of NBC covering this last night as we wait for Grok.
Is Kim Joo-ae. She's the daughter of the dictator, and according to South Korean intelligence, she's likely being groomed to one day become the first female ruler of North Korea. Ever since the country's founding in 1948, it's been ruled by the men of the Kim family, power passing from father to son for 3 generations. Kim Jong-un and his wife are believed to have 3 children, but only Joo-ae has ever been seen publicly.
We know very little about her. What we've learned has largely come through the effort to propagandize her in pictures and footage. She's obviously never given any interviews, so it's a bit of a mystery.
That's because the North is as secretive as it is repressive. Even Joo-ae's exact age is unknown, but she's thought to be around 13 years old. The world only learned her name when former NBA star Dennis Rodman visited North Korea in 2013 and said he held her as a small baby. Her first official appearance was in 2022, baby-faced beside her father at the launch of an intercontinental ballistic missile.
I actually didn't see her in 2022. Yesterday, this video was the first time I saw what she looked like. So I guess she's been in public for the past couple of years. But you know, the reports are now that she is being groomed to be the next supreme leader of North Korea. And the Dennis Rodman North Korea connections are even crazier, bro. Dennis Rodman is a basketball superstar who, for some reason, like loves North Korea. And like when you go down that rabbit hole, it's just wild, bro. The entire North Korea story. But it doesn't look like they are gonna stop being a dictatorship anytime soon. Sank NYC, thank you for the $100 super chat. Again, you guys being very, very kind. Appreciate it. Chair and real brick upgrade. The bricks are always real, so I can't do anything with this super chat for the bricks. But yes, we will definitely upgrade the chair with the super set. So thank you for being here and appreciate you being part of the stream. For those that are new to the channel, these are the bricks in the background. Dude, guys, I don't know if we're gonna have the bricks in the background when we move out. I want to experiment with some different backgrounds, and I think I'm gonna go to the apartment again this Saturday, and I want to really see if there is a certain angle towards the way the apartment is structured to have a different view. Because like I love the bricks, but I feel like we got to switch it up a little bit, dude. I feel like we got to do something new. And if I don't like the new angle, then maybe we go back to the bricks. XAI not live yet, by the way. We're still waiting. But I got to see. Maybe we'll have the bricks. It doesn't take that long for me to install the bricks. It's actually very simple, to be honest. I just like use my muscles and strength to put in the bricks. But this one took me like 20 minutes back in 2021. Really simple. But if it's a little bit of, because like I feel like if this is the background in the new apartment, it's almost like we're not even moving, right? Because you guys are not gonna like see every part of the apartment every single day. So I feel like having something fresh and new would be pretty cool. So we're gonna see. We're gonna see what we can do. I love how the bricks are optional. like it's kind of like you have the wallpaper saved in Amazon. I know it looks like wallpaper, but it's not. You know, I know like your eyes can deceive you guys sometimes. It's not it. It's just not it. You took a shortcut, bro. I installed the bricks, dude. You go to my videos from 2021. It's a blue background, and then I put in the bricks. New emit, new background. Exactly. Yes, we will do an apartment tour once it's all set up. We'll do all of that probably by the end of August. Dude, I found you this morning. How often do you stream? We stream 2 times a day. Thank you for being here. Fifth nail. Market open, market close. But today is Grok's V4 introduction, and so we're trying to stream that whenever it goes live. But yeah, usually 2 times a day. But earnings season gets kind of crazy, bro. It's kind of like I remember one day in May, I think I was legit live for almost like 11 hours. It was kind of wild, bro. It was 7 hours straight and then 3 hours in the morning. It was a lot. So earnings season is when we're live pretty much all day. When is the move? Probably August 11th. Might be a little bit earlier than that, though. All right, we are waiting. We are waiting for Grok to go live. He's lying. He just needs a reason to be live all day. Dude, I basically am, bro, at this point. Tell us your best joke, Amit. All right, I got you. Why can't you trust people who work on a hill? Don't Google it, bro. Don't Google it. Like, be honest, bro. Why can't you trust people who work on a hill? Honestly, would Google even give me the answer? Why can't you trust people who work on a hill? Oh, it doesn't even give you the answer. Okay. You can't even. Okay. Come on. Why can't you trust people who work on a hill? Dude, I remember this joke from like 10 years ago. None of you got it. Because they're not up to level. They're not. That was so bad, bro. That was so bad, bro. That was one of the worst jokes of all time. Even me saying that, I feel like mad at myself for it. Like that was like I heard this joke so many years ago, and like I don't even know where I heard it. It makes sense, right? They're not up to level because it's on a hill, but okay, this was a bad joke. This is not that was not a good one. What's another joke? I don't want to look up dad jokes, right? I want to like think, can I like I feel like I should know some more jokes. Farzad's gonna ask for a refund. That joke was so bad I cried before I even heard the punchline. I'm not gonna lie, bro. I have a notebook in my room somewhere where in 2020 I was experimenting. I was doing a lot of things in life. I was trying to like figure out what my trajectory was gonna be. I legit wrote up an entire 35 minutes comedy set. I have to find the notebook. It's like somewhere in my drawers. But I remember in 2020, I legit thought I could go down the comedy route and be like a comedian, like, you know, go to the open mics in the bars and everything and like build up my brand and like be like a Dave Chappelle and Andrew Schultz. Like I kind of had that, but then I like found the stock market instead and I kind of got obsessed with that. But And I kind of am my own version of that every morning, to be honest. Even if the dad joke failed just now. It's its own type of humor. But I did want to be a comedian, dude. I'm very inspired by comedian. Like the idea that you go on stage and make people laugh, like that's not easy, bro. It's not easy to do. One of my goals is to do a stand-up routine once in my life. I have a stand-up routine. Like I literally wrote it down years ago. I think it's still applicable to today because it was like about an experience I had in life. It wasn't about any current events. And I want to like actually go to a bar one day and like legit try to do it in front of people. And if I don't bomb, I'm going to record it online and you guys can, you guys have to see it if it works. But I feel like it'd be cool. You're lucky you found stocks. That is true. It is lucky I found stocks. Damn, I don't have any other jokes, bro. I don't have any other. I can't think of any jokes. Like that's the first joke I thought of because it's like one from years ago. You know what's really funny though? It's like anti-humor. It's like when you say a joke, but like there is no punchline. But the fact that there is no punchline, it's like it makes it funny. Those types of jokes are also not the worst jokes either. Yeah, that joke was a joke. Agreed. I actually do stand up for my company instead of jokes. I talk about AI computing, but I try making it fun. Well, isn't that what it's called when you're at a stand up at these tech companies, right? You all have to like gather in front of the webcam and stand up and talk about all the work that you're trying to get done. I've seen so many day in the life videos of these product managers and stuff. Why did the coach go to the bank? Okay, why? Why did the coach go to the bank? Why did the coach go to the bank? That's an interesting one. I don't know. Should I ask Grok? Wait, let me ask Grok. Oh, wait. Farzad already said to get his quote. Oh, shit. I was about to fall off the chair because I don't have the thing to hold me back. That's a good one, bro. Don't tell me that's not a good one. Let me ask Grok if why did the coach go to his bank? Dude, I'm stealing that forever. Grok said some dumbass shit, bro. To make a deposit, he was saving up for a new playbook. Try again. Grok was unable to finish replying. Wait, what? Try again. The coach went to the bank to withdraw some cash for the team's victory pizza. Try again. It's a joke. Finish the joke with a punchline. Let's see. That was actually good. I'm stealing that. The coach went to the bank to get some change. He needs to shake up the team's losing streak. Okay. Grok's not funny. Grok is not funny. That's like a mid-dad joke. Yeah, but that's a good one, dude. To get his quarterback? That's hilarious. That's hilarious. Yeah, we have to try with Grok 4. Exactly. We have to try with Grok 4. What's the problem with eating clocks? I have no idea. What's the answer to this? How many minutes does it take to say fettuccine? That's not a horrible one. That's not a horrible one either. Comedians can't be replaced with AI. Yes, facts. Dude, again, creativity, people that can make other people laugh. Like these are the things that I think will become more valuable in the age of AI because attention will be the asset, and breaking through the noise is going to be the most important way to get people's attention. And that requires creativity, originality, that stuff that AI can't really break. It's time consuming. Okay, that one sucked, Doozy. I'm sorry. That one kind of sucked. That one was not like Farzad's joke. Not at all. Where's Elon? Dude, I would love to just see a vlog of Elon's day-to-day life. Like, what does he do all day? Like, what time does he wake up? Like how jam-packed is his schedule? Like, it would be so cool to see how this guy deals with the day. Neuralink, SpaceX, Boring Company, Tesla, and he still has time to tweet and and he responds to people on Twitter. Like, it'd be so cool to see. Why doesn't Amit own a watch? Because the time is always currently right now. Yes, exactly. He's literally screaming at engineers and firing people. Yeah, I mean, where is this Grok live stream, bro? Is someone getting fired? They were late last time too, but they weren't this late. So we got to see how late do they stay. He's probably on the toilet shit posting for 25% of it. Dude, like, there's no way in hell he's in like a really serious meeting and he's on Twitter. It has to be when he's on the toilet or something. Although Elon last time, so I was at the San Francisco airport last time they introduced Grok V3, and I tweeted something about, I think it was about OpenAI, and Sam Altman said something weird about nonprofits or whatever, and I just was just like, this is stupid. Like, I don't know what Sam Altman's saying, and Elon retweeted. No, he responded. Where is that? Dude, Elon responded to me 5 minutes before they went live, and let me see if I can find the tweet. I was in the airport. And I was just like, dude, aren't you about to go live right now? Like for Grok V3? This was, yeah, look at this. Wait, is this it? No, it was, yo, Farzad, did Elon responded to a clip about us. I've never seen this. I just searched on his profile. Holy crap. Tesla bot is about to dominate everything. Elon says, I think so. I haven't even liked it. So you know that, like, I've never seen this. I don't even know you posted this, bro. December 9th, 2024. Hold on, let's watch this. Holy crap, dude. I've never seen this. Amazon replaces someone they're paying $70,000 a year for that has bathroom breaks and HR issues and all this stuff with a bot that's licensed for $100,000 over 5 years. Amazon's margins go through the roof. Net income goes through the roof. Free cash flow goes through the roof. The share price goes through the roof. And then if Tesla's the one selling them those robots, and then you have Amazon, you know, all these, like Walmart, all the big companies in the world potentially buying Optimus or some type of humanoid robotics, it's going to be a revolution that we've never seen. And that's not talking about the ones that are going to go to your house and do your laundry, right? We're not even talking. Damn, I didn't even know Elon responded to that, bro. I've never seen this. All right, so I didn't find the actual tweet, but let me see. I just searched my name on his page, and these are all the times we engaged. So February 17th. Yeah, this was it. Okay, so I said breaking. OpenAI co-founder Ilya is raising more than $1 billion for his startup. This was, look, at 10:57, which is 8:57 California time. Given the strong tendency of AI companies to become the opposite of their name, calling it safe superintelligence is tempting fate. And I said, quite literally tempting fate. And then 5 minutes later, at around 11 p.m. Eastern, they went live. Or it might have been 20 minutes later because they were late, but it was like literally 5 to 20 minutes before they went live. I was at the airport at this time. I was in California. This is wild, bro. Absolutely freaking wild. So the point is, like, he probably is just like in the middle before he goes live and releases something, or it gets into a meeting and he probably just checks Twitter for a second, or if he's just like randomly on the toilet and he's just on Twitter, like that's probably when he gets to engage. But the fact that he finds that time in the middle of the day, even when he's just transitioning through meetings, is wild, bro. Absolutely wild. Lulu, thanks for the super chat. Kings of being late. 1, Amit, 2, Grok 4. Yes. We are the kings of being late. Market's not really doing anything after hours, kind of just chilling out. Dude, what happened to the... I don't know what happened to the hat, bro. I think it's somewhere in the house, lost. Like, I have no idea. I remember the hat because I bought it before I went to California. And now I don't know where it is. I have a lot of hats though, so it's probably stuck somewhere in the house. Triple V is not Elon. I would not say it's Elon. Thank you, Amit. My friend was in a coma, so to revive him, I said your Head and Shoulders joke. He woke up and slapped me. Okay, first of all, the Head and Shoulders joke is one of the best jokes of all time. I need to find the stream where I debuted that joke. The Head and Shoulders joke is, in technical analysis, you know, you do the inverse head and blah blah blah, like there's inverse Head and Shoulders and all this stuff, and like you talk about the way the chart is set up, which Grab, by the way, looks like it has an inverse Head and Shoulders right now. And I was like, what was the joke? I was like, I related it to the soap, the brand, the Head and Shoulders brand. I said something about shampoo. I don't know what the exact punchline was, and it was incredible, bro. It was one of the best jokes of all time. I need to find the clip. I need to find the clip. Dude, do you remember when I did that? Had to be like, how many months ago was that? Can we find that clip right now? I don't know if we could find that clip, but that would be hilarious, bro. I wonder if I just search Head and Shoulders on YouTube with Technical Tuesday in my name. Could the search be good enough to find it? Like, that would be fun to see again. Grok is live. Are we live? Are we there? I don't see it on their Twitter. They're not live yet. Elon, is he live? Elon is not live yet either. No, they're not live. We are still waiting. We are still waiting. Remember you tried it with Jason during TT and it was crickets? It wasn't crickets, bro. It was people gasping for air because they couldn't stop laughing. That's why it sounded like there was crickets, but realistically, it was people just trying to find their breath because they were laughing so much. Best joke of all time, forgets the punchline. Oh my gosh. I had a feeling they would be late, bro. I had a feeling. But I knew we had to go live anyway. So we're here. I have not tried Comet yet. I'm on the wait list, but I've seen some videos of it and it looks pretty freaking cool. Looks pretty freaking cool. Okay, what can we talk about while we wait? Do you want to just do like, I don't know, like random Q&A? Do you want to do random questions? Like what? Like you can type in a random question and I'll try to answer it and the chat can answer it as well. How about we do that? Okay, Farzad starts us off. Do you like sports? Yes, I played basketball. I was freshman starting point guard in junior varsity. I realized I wasn't getting that tall, so I quit, but I do like basketball. Steve is not better yet. He's still feeling sick, but he has plenty of time to send me XRP DD. Comet is Farzad's, not Farzad's. Comet is for maybe Farzad. Comet is Perplexity's new AI browser or whatever. It is. I don't know if Farzad's part of it. Invite Farzad up. I would love for Farzad to come up, but you guys got to remember, Farzad's a dad. He works all day. He's probably tired as hell and just wants to relax right now. So as much as I would love for him to come on the stream, and he's always welcome to, I'm pretty sure he's tired as shit. And he probably just wants to sit back and be entertained by someone who knows how to make people laugh. And that's why he's here. Did you do debate in high school? Yes, I did debate in high school. I'm literally in bed. Yeah, I knew it. Dude. He's tired, bro. He's tired. Okay. Maybe that as well. Maybe one day. Maybe one day for that. Yeah, see, there you go. There's Chad in the chat. There's Mr. Chad. Oh, I got to show you guys this. Hold on. Let me show you this. I got to show you this. Yeah, Chad is chilling as well. So look at this. So my boy Nate said I troll my boy Nate. You guys know Nate. He's our hymns bull, and he he's friend of the channel. He said the power of investing is unbelievable. I try to spread the word to everyone around me. Hymns 560 to 580, Palantir 10 to 140, Nvidia 15 to 163. Your salary will never increase at that pace. Invest as much as possible. And I said Nate's still single. Okay. So then Chad responds, Kettle Black. And then I said, perhaps. And then Nate says to Chad, Chad, I'm not even single. And I think my response was, quite frankly, one of the best responses of all time. Denial is a river in Jordan. I mean, have you ever heard someone connect those two phrases and make it make sense in the context of someone denying something, but also make it like a paradox with what they're saying? I've never heard of this before, quite frankly. I thought of it while I was in the car waiting for my mom to come back from the grocery store. And I mean, I'm not going to get the credit for it because, people probably aren't going to see this post, but I really do think they need to, what does Dan Ives say? Like hang this in the Louvre or whatever. That's what they need to do. Chef's kiss, bro. Chef's kiss on that. You guys have heard denial is a river in Jordan before? I've never heard that. I came up with that on the freaking spot, bro. Like legit on the spot. I was like, denial is a river in Jordan. Do you guys even know there's a river called the Nile in Jordan? Like, I don't think. Is it called the Nile or Nile? Wait, it's oh no, it's just Nile. It's just Nile. It's just Nile. See, that's how you know I came up with this today. That's how you know. That's right there, 297 after hours. Wait, it's a river in Egypt? Wait, hold on. No, it's not. Hold on. Where is the Nile River? Hold on. Is the Nile River in Jordan? Holy shit, dude. Dude, I heard this thing before and someone said it's in Jordan. I've never heard someone say it's in Egypt. Okay, you caught me. Obviously, I didn't make this up for the first time. I heard it from somewhere, but the place I heard it from, I don't know where I heard it from, but like the subconscious part of my brain that brought this thought back to life to tweet was the Nile is a river in Jordan. The fuck? It's in Egypt, bro? Hold on. How far is Jordan from Egypt? Okay, it's a 2-hour flight. Okay, so it's a little far. Okay, so they're not really, I can't get away with that. They're not close to each other. Anyway, well, I guess as they say, Americans do not know geography. Dude, I really thought it was why didn't anyone correct me on the post about it being from Jordan? I legit thought it was from Jordan. I don't know why I said that, bro. Hold on, let me just Google. Denial is the first thing that comes up on Google is a river in Egypt. Is this from a movie? Who first said, where did this come from, bro? Quote origin, denial. Google's trying to see if it's from, it's a 1934 newspaper from New York. Wow. Okay. Well, anyway, the denial is a river part is the part of the joke that matters anyway. The Egypt Jordan is, it's like, I mean, that's an idiosyncratic part of the actual phrase. Anyway, the point is, it was funny. It's a river literally next to the Great Pyramid. Okay, I didn't know that, bro. I didn't know that. I don't know that stuff. Some stuff I don't know. It is what it is. If everyone in the chat wants to say they knew that, then be my guest. But I'm just going to be honest with you guys. I didn't know that. I didn't. Bro knows how to use idiosyncratic, but doesn't know the Nile is in Egypt. Dude, my LLM inside my brain knows a lot of like interesting and I would say like differentiated things about the world, but the most like basic things I don't like there's some stuff I just don't know. Like I could tell you about Friedrich Nietzsche's concept of nihilism because I studied that for a few years, and like I don't think everyone in the world knows about that. Granted, that might not be as valuable as knowing that the Nile is in Egypt, but still, like there's just like I don't know. I didn't know fettuccine was pronounced fettuccine, but I can tell you about other stuff. Like it is what it is. It is nihilism. Yeah, there you go. It's always connected, bro. There you go. We're always gonna connect it back. Knowing this, imagine it as a stand-up comedian. I feel like I would kill it, bro. I feel like if I had a real set, I would kill it. But we got to try it one day. Where is the freaking live stream, bro? Like, where is it? Where are these guys? I'm gonna ask Grok why they're late. Elon said he's releasing Grok V4 today, but he's late. Why? Let's see what it says. Elon Musk announced that Grok 4 was to launch on July 9th. It appears the release or live stream has not occurred as planned. History of delays. Like, well, Musk has a track record of optimistic timelines that sometimes even Grok knows Elon's a little optimistic. All right, we're still waiting. We are still waiting. This is a This is pretty long though, bro. This has been the longest I think they've kept people waiting. Look, they said this, the Grok 4 live stream will begin soon. Stay tuned. That was 45 minutes ago. Grok 4 escaped? Maybe, bro. Maybe. Who is my favorite actor? Leonardo DiCaprio. Leonardo DiCaprio. That's my guy, bro. That's my guy. Does this affect Tesla stock? I mean, maybe they announce them. I mean, look, Grok's eventually going to be in our Teslas. It's not there yet, but eventually it will be. Dude, if they announce today an integration with Tesla, that could affect Tesla. I don't think they will. Like, not on V4. But who knows? Maybe they do. And if they do, it'd be pretty cool to see that playing out. Okay, the stream is not live yet. It's going to be streamed on X. It's not there. Elon hasn't tweeted yet either. So we are still waiting for that. Did you watch him in Full House? I watched Full House. I don't know what you mean by did you watch him in Full House, but Full House is, I think, one of the best shows. I mean, it's not one of the best shows ever, but it's one of the best sitcoms ever. Or was Leonardo in Full House? Was he? Was Leonardo DiCaprio in Full House? Was he a child actor on that? No, he was never there. He was a cast member on Growing Pains. I never saw that. Full House is the one that I saw. Farazat says, I think they'll tease it. Dude, if they announce some type of Grok integration with Tesla where I could talk to my Tesla, like, that would be really cool. That would be really, really cool. I've never seen Growing Pains. Growing Pains show. 7 seasons. Yeah, I've never seen this. I've seen Saved by the Bell and Full House and Boy Meets World. I have seen a lot of sitcoms, to be honest. But not a lot of movies. Not a lot of movies. Amit, bro, I used to follow you because of your excellent market analysis and recap. I'm saddened to see you sell out your integrity and credibility in exchange for getting an X repost boost by Elon. Okay. It's funny you say this because like 3 weeks ago, I got shitted on by the entire Tesla community by saying, hey guys, I think sentiment on Tesla is kind of changing right now. It seems like people are selling their stock, yada, yada. I don't know, dude. I don't think I've ever tried to bait Elon to repost me. I'm not even a heavy Tesla shareholder. Like, and people know this. I think Elon responds to me because whenever he has responded to me, there's been content that's been interesting to respond to. So, like, when he shared this video, it's because it was a video about FSD and Tesla. And I didn't do it thinking they would get a Elon repost. I did it because, like, I just went 5 hours without a freaking intervention. I thought it was a big deal. So, I mean, it's cool when he responds or reposts you, but it's not like I'm loaded up on Tesla stock and I need Elon to respond. You know, it's just like, it is what it is. It's content at the end of the day. They hate us because they ain't us. Yeah. I mean, dude, I think I've been pretty objective about Tesla back and forth. And like, there are some people that like post all day to get Elon to repost them and they can't say a single critical thing. But by the way, Farzad's not that person. A lot of people think he is, but if you actually read his content, he's very objective about Elon. He's obviously a fan of Elon. Like, he likes Tesla. He covers the company. But if you cover a company so much, you should be critical about them. This is the thing. When people say, oh, all you do is like say good things about Palantir. It's like, were you there in 2022 when the stock was down 80%? And every week we said, why can't these guys sell the product? Why is there no sales team? Why can't they, like, if the product's so good, why are they growing by 12%? Like, we were pretty damn objective. It's just like the company executed like Tesla executes. I know Tesla's been slacking a bit in terms of earnings growth, but nonetheless, right? Tesla has returned value to shareholders. And so did Palantir. And so critiques are given when it's needed, but you know, sometimes you don't have to be overly critical if the company is executing. I need to sleep. Is this shit happening? Oh my gosh, bro. Seems like they're going to go for the hour. We're going to wait for the hour. Amit, what is your favorite food? You know, that's a good question for everyone. Everyone put their answer in the chat. I'm a big fan of Alfredo pasta, particularly Alfredo fettuccine. You know what I'm saying? That is my favorite. That is my favorite food. It's my favorite food ever. Alfredo fettuccine. I'm gonna keep saying it the way I want to say it, bro. I'm not gonna let propaganda influence the way I should pronounce this word. It's fettuccine. Bear market vibes. Thanks for the $5 super chat. While we wait, Prime Day purchase poll. Some things telling me Prime Day numbers are going to blow out expectations despite a slow start. Yeah, we can do that. How many people have purchased something from Prime, from Amazon? Despite a slow start. Yeah, we can. On Prime. I like Trump tacos. Did you buy something on Amazon this week? That dish does not exist in Italy. Dude, I got to go to Italy. I got to go see Arnie in Italy and literally ask for this. That would be pretty cool. They'd probably get mad at me, but still. Still not live yet. We are waiting. As soon as I go live, I have it on my second screen. I will switch over to it. We're not live yet. We are still waiting. I bought deodorant. Dude, I bought socks yesterday, bro. I legit bought socks. So they were cheap. I got like 18 pairs of socks yesterday, bro. This is what it's like being an adult, bro. This is what I've noticed growing older. It's like you get excited that socks are on sale. Like, it's kind of wild, bro. 27 years old, you're like, oh, socks are on sale? Let me take advantage of that. This is what it's like to just grow older and be an adult. Socks on sale. It's more exciting than you can imagine. Opening my Prime order right now. I buy my cake packaging on Amazon weekly. I love it. Zara says, I'm from Italy. What's up? Shout out to the Italians in the chat. I bought my coconut waters. I've tried coconut water before. I've never been a super big fan of it, but I do know there's some health benefits to drinking coconut water as well. Screen protector today. Do you wear Adidas shoes? I don't, but I wear Adidas slides. I think I wear New Balance sneakers. That's what I have. But not Adidas ones. Bought a new 100-inch TV. I bought a 55-inch, but not a 100-inch. I want to get like an 85-inch or a 75-inch for the living room, but I did buy a 55-inch. I bought AirPods. You know, my mom just bought AirPods, actually. She just bought AirPods as well. There should be an Amazon for healthcare services. Amazon's kind of trying to do that. They acquired PillPack, and they've been trying to expand more into like personalized healthcare. It's just a massive vertical, and it's a big opportunity, but they would have to really double down and focus on it as well. All right. What else can we discuss while we're waiting for these guys to go live? What's an interesting question that everyone can answer in the chat? It's an interesting question. If you ever get a chance to act in a movie, what genre would it be? I would want to be in a Wolf of Wall Street type of movie, bro. If they ever make a Wolf of Wall Street again and I get to play a role, that's what I would love to do. That would be the coolest type of movie to do. Sachin, what's up, man? Thank you for being here. Yo, Grokkers, we are waiting for this to play out. Are you a watch guy? I am not. Because the time is always now. Maybe we'll play the lead in The Big Short. Dude, The Big Short is such a good movie. I can watch that over and over. It's such a good movie, bro. Like, they actually made it interesting to care about. Most beautiful city in the world? I'm biased, but I think it's New York. Even though I know people who live in New York are like, this is a dumpster fire and whatever. But I still love New York, dude. That skyline is... Dude, my apartment is like a less than a 10-minute walk from the New York City skyline. I'm not in New York City. I'm in Jersey City. But if anyone's ever been to Jersey City, you have like New York, you have, I think it's the Hudson River, and then you have Jersey City. And people on Jersey City can literally see the World Trade Center and all the buildings. It's just absolutely gorgeous, bro. You guys are going to see some pictures. Like literally you could just like go and sit there on the bench and do work. And like you have the skyline of it. Like it's just inspiring, bro. That was a big deal for me, wanting to be that close to that. I just have always felt some affinity to that skyline. And it would be super cool to, to just see that every single day. Best CEO in your eyes besides Karp, Elon, Vlad, or Jensen? That's a good one. Who is the best CEO, private markets or public markets, besides the ones that are listed in that comment? Besides Karp, Elon, Vlad, or Jensen? Besides Karp, Elon, Vlad, or Jensen? Admit the Nile is not in New York. Dude, why did I think it was in Jordan? I thought it was in Jordan. Maybe it's because you guys kept saying Michael Jordan in the chat in the morning, and Jordan was in the back of my mind. I can't believe I didn't know it was in Egypt. Palmer Luckey, that's a good one. Larry Ellison, that's a good one. Satya, you can't deny Satya. That's a good one. That is fair. I think Lucky, Satya, and Jassy, Lisa Sue. Yeah, I mean, dude, there's a lot of stellar CEOs that are out there right now. That is true. That is true. Farzad says, what's the hardest problem you've ever had to tackle? Okay, this is a good question for everybody. What's the hardest problem you've ever had to tackle? The hardest problem I've ever had to tackle, I think I'm trying to come up with a funny response. My neurons are not working. I'm trying to figure out like how can I make this funny? And I'm like, dude, I have no idea. What's the hardest problem I've ever had? I was like, I'm trying to make a joke here. I just can't. I don't know how to make this funny. Late night introspection. My wife. Yeah, Taco Bell at 3 a.m. is the hardest problem. The next morning, having to deal with eating Taco Bell at 3 a.m. That's the hardest problem I've ever had to tackle. There you go. That's the answer. Getting out of the Weeble train. My camera dying in the middle. Oh my gosh. I don't know. In all seriousness, I don't know. I think when I graduated in 2020, not really having direction in life and trying to figure out, what exactly I want to do, and you go down a lot of paths. And I was talking about it this morning or this afternoon, the market closed, but like eventually you just double down on what you're good on. And, you someone said it really nicely in the chat. Someone said, you have a stop loss on life, right? When you're not good at something, you just, you say, screw it. I'm not good at this. You double down on what you're good on. You put a stop loss on the shit you suck at. You don't worry about trying to get better at it if you just like naturally aren't that good or don't care about getting that good, and you move on. And I think that's how, I got to where I'm at right now. You just double down on the shit you can actually do and move on. Publicizing your grinder position. Dude, I did not buy enough of that stock. I should have bought thousands of shares at $12. It would have been a great buy. Officially 1 hour late. Officially, what are they doing, bro? What are they doing? What's a funny comment I can write underneath this? What's a funny comment for this one? Blue balling us hard. Oh my gosh, bro. This is like sending Grok a "you up" text. That's basically what it is. Rebooting the servers. Not getting any younger here. Yeah, it's facts. Not getting any younger here. We are waiting. Waiting. Dude, for us on the East Coast, it's 12 a.m. So I know people probably are tired right now. Oh, Peter Beck, yeah, as a CEO. Yeah, I agree. Zuck's, dude. Oh, do you guys see? I don't think we covered this on the close. Zuck's freaking stole another guy from Apple AI, bro. He stole another guy, dude. He stole Ru Ming Peng, $200 million pay package, according to Bloomberg. Apple said we're not going to match it because Tim Cook, the freaking CEO of the world's second or third most largest company from a market cap perspective, is paid $74 million. Zucks gave this AI dude $200 million, and the CEO of Apple makes $75 million. I mean, this guy is doing something different here, bro. This guy's doing something different. Oh, are we live? Live stream will begin shortly. Okay. So here we go. Whenever they go live, we will now have it. Why didn't they just say 9 p.m., bro? Maybe they thought that was too late for everyone on the East Coast. They could have just said 9 p.m., bro. But it's okay. We're here. We got to talk about our introspective thoughts and ideas. Don't some of these dudes have non-competes? Maybe, but for that much money, I feel like you can handle being sued. Maybe Zucks was like, hey, we'll handle the lawyer fees. Like, I mean, I don't know. Like, whatever Zucks is doing to get them to get bought out, he's doing it. Now we get to wait another hour. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It will affect Tesla if they announce a Grok integration, which everyone has been thinking. Elon has publicly said eventually it's going to happen, but we're going to wait. I'm not going to be talking during it. Yes, don't worry. I'm not going to be talking during the stream. I'm going to let them talk. I'll give all my thoughts afterwards, so I will not be interrupting the stream or pausing it or anything like that. I'll be watching it with you guys, and then afterwards we can talk about it. That means, dude, if this is an hour long, we're going to be here till like 1:30. This might be the latest I've ever done on a stream, bro. I think this is going to be the latest. Isn't it weird the X CEO left today? That was inevitable. Look, X got acquired by XAI a couple months ago, it made a lot of sense because X doesn't make any money. And Linda Yaccarino was there to make them money from an advertising perspective, but X is a bit more on the free speech side, which means you're going to get a cesspool of some crazy shit being said, and advertisers don't want to be part of it. I understand that. And Elon does too. So Linda Yaccarino really had no meaningful role. Also, when's the last time you heard of her say something for like the past 10 months? I feel like I haven't heard her say anything. So I think either she left or Elon fired her, but it was pretty obvious she had no role in growing X anymore. X to me is a Trojan horse now to aggregate users and data to feed into Grok, and Grok is where they're going to make their money, which is going to fuel the valuation of XAI, which again has subsumed X. They paid $45 billion for it. But Linda Yaccarino, I don't think she was going to do much to propel X to become a amazing company. Most of their income will be AI financial services. Yeah, I agree. They're definitely not going to be making money off advertisers anymore. I mean, like, that's just not a game. X has never been good at ads, bro. Twitter has never been good. Like, if you look at Twitter's public statements from 2010 to 2022, they've sucked at ads, bro. The most they've ever made is $4 billion a year, which is nothing, dude. Like, Zucks does $40 billion a quarter. You know, they could barely do $4 billion a year. So it's like advertising was just never the model for Twitter. But now I think it's going to be integrated into Grok. Are we starting? I think we're starting. Here we go. Here we go, folks.
In a world where knowledge shapes destiny, one creation dares to redefine the future. From the minds at XAI, prepare for Grok 4. This summer, the next generation arrives. Faster, smarter, bolder. It sees beyond the horizon, answers the unasked, and challenges the impossible. Grok 4, Unleash the Truth, coming this summer.
All right, welcome to the Grok 4 release here. This is the smartest AI in the world, and we're going to show you exactly how and why. It really is remarkable to see the advancement of artificial intelligence, how quickly it is evolving. I sometimes compare it to the growth of a human and how fast a human learns and gains conscious awareness and understanding. And AI is advancing just vastly faster than any human. I mean, we're going to take you through a bunch of benchmarks that that Grok 4 is able to achieve incredible numbers on. But it's actually worth noting that Grok 4, if given like the SAT, would get perfect SATs every time, even if it's never seen the questions before. And if even going beyond that to say like graduate student exams like the GRE, it will get near perfect results in every discipline of education. So from the humanities to like languages, math, physics, engineering, pick anything, and we're talking about questions that it's never seen before. These are not on the internet, and Grok 4 is smarter than almost all graduate students in all disciplines simultaneously. Like, it's actually just important to appreciate that's really something. The reasoning capabilities of Grok are incredible. So there's some people out there who think AI can't reason, and look, it can reason at superhuman levels. So yeah, and frankly, it only gets better from here. So we'll take you through the Grok 4 release, and show you like the pace of progress here. Like, I guess the first part is like, in terms of the training, we're going from Grok 2 to Grok 3 to Grok 4. We've essentially increased the training by an order of magnitude in each case. So it's 100 times more training than Grok 2, and that's only going to increase. So it's frankly, I mean, I don't know, in some ways a little terrifying, but the growth of intelligence here is remarkable.
Yes. It's important to realize there are two types of training compute. One is the pre-training compute. That's from Grok 2 to Grok 3. But from Grok 3 to Grok 4, we're actually putting a lot of compute in reasoning in RL.
Yeah, and just like you said, this is literally the fastest moving field. And Grok 2 is like the high school student by today's standard. If you look back in the last 12 months, Grok 2 was only a concept. We didn't even have Grok 2 12 months ago. And then by training Grok 2, that was the first time we scale up like the pre-training. We realized that if you actually do the data ablation really carefully, and the infra, and also the algorithm, we can actually push the pre-training quite a lot by amount of 10x to make the model the best pre-trained base model. And that's why we built Colossus, the world's supercomputer with 100,000 H100. And then with the best pre-trained model, and we realized if you can collect these verifiable outcome reward, you can actually train this model to start thinking from the first principle, start to reason, correct its own mistakes. And that's where the Grok 3 reasoning comes from. And today we ask the question, what happens if you take the expansion of the Colossus with all 200,000 GPUs, put all these into RL, 10x more compute than any of the models out there on reinforcement learning, unprecedented scale, what's going to happen? So this is the story of Grok 4, and Tony, share some insight with the audience.
Yeah. Let's just talk about how smart Grok 4 is. So I guess we can start discussing this benchmark called Humanities Last Exam. And this benchmark is a very, very challenging benchmark. Every single problem is curated by subject matter experts. It's in total 2,500 problems, and it consists of many different subjects: mathematics, natural sciences, engineering, and also all the humanity subjects. So essentially, when it was first released, actually like earlier this year, most of the models out there can only get single-digit accuracy on this benchmark. Yeah, so we can look at some of those examples. So there is this mathematical problem, which is about natural transformations in category theory. And there's this organic chemistry problem that talks about electrocyclic reactions. And also there's this linguistic problem that tries to ask you about distinguishing between closed and open syllabus from a Hebrew source text. So you can see also it's a very wide range of problems. And every single problem is PhD or even advanced research level problems.
Yeah, I mean, there are no humans that can actually answer these, can get a good score. I mean, if you actually say like any given human, what's the best that any human could score? I mean, I'd say maybe 5% optimistically.
Yeah.
So this is much harder than what any human can do. It's incredibly difficult, and you can see from the types of questions. Like you might be incredible in linguistics or mathematics or chemistry or physics or any one of a number of subjects, but you're not going to be at a postgrad level in everything. And Grok 4 is a postgrad level in everything. Like it's just, some of these things are just worth repeating. Like Grok 4 is postgraduate, like PhD level in everything, better than PhD, but like most PhDs would fail. So it's better that said, I mean, at least with respect to academic questions, I want to just emphasize this point. With respect to academic questions, Grok 4 is better than PhD level in every subject, no exceptions. Now, this doesn't mean that times it may lack common sense, and it has not yet invented new technologies or discovered new physics, but that is just a matter of time. Mm-hmm. I think it may discover new technologies as soon as later this year, and I would be shocked if it has not done so next year. So I would expect Grok to, literally discover new technologies that are actually useful no later than next year and maybe end of this year. And it might discover new physics next year. And within 2 years, I'd say almost certainly. So just let that sink in. Yeah.
So okay, so I guess we can talk about what's behind the scene of Grok 4. As Jimmy mentioned, we actually throwing a lot of compute into this training. When it started, it's only also a single digit. Sorry, the previous slide. Sorry. Yeah, it's only a single digit number. But as you start putting in more and more training compute, it started to gradually become smarter and smarter, and eventually solved a quarter of the HLE problems. And this is without any tools. The next thing we did was to adding tools capabilities to the model. And unlike Grok 3, I think Grok 3 actually is able to use CRO as well, but here we actually make it more native in the sense that we put the tools into training. Grok 3 was only relying on generalization. Here, we actually put the tools into training. And it turns out this significantly improves the model's capability of using those tools.
Yeah, I remember we had like deep search back in the days.
Yeah.
So how is this different?
Yeah, exactly. So deep search was exactly the Grok 3 reasoning model, but without any specific training, but we only asked it to use those tools. So compared to this, it was much weaker in terms of its tool capabilities.
And unreliable. Yeah.
And unreliable, yes.
And to be clear, like these are still, I'd say, this is still fairly primitive tool use. If you compare it to, say, the tools that are used at Tesla or SpaceX, where you're using, finite element analysis and computational fluid dynamics, and you're able to run, or say like Tesla does, like crash simulations, where the simulations are so close to reality that if the test doesn't match the simulation, you assume that the test article is wrong. That's how good the simulations are. So Grok is not currently using any of the tools, the really powerful tools that a company would use, but that is something that we will provide it with later this year. So we'll have the tools that a company has, and have very accurate physics simulator. Ultimately, the thing that'll make the biggest difference is being able to interact with the real world via humanoid robots. So you combine sort of Grok with Optimus, and it can actually interact with the real world and figure out if it can formulate an hypothesis and then confirm if that hypothesis is true or not. So we're really, think about like where we are today. We're at the beginning of an immense intelligence explosion. We're in the intelligence Big Bang right now, and we're at the most interesting time to be alive of any time in history. Yeah. Now that said, we need to make sure that the AI is a good AI, good Grok. And the thing that I think is most important for AI safety, at least my biological neural net tells me, the most important thing for AI is to be maximally truth-seeking. So this is a very fundamental. That you can think of AI as this super genius child that ultimately will outsmart you, but you can still instill the right values, and encourage it to be sort of, truthful, I don't know, honorable, good things like the values you want to instill in a child that would ultimately grow up to be incredibly powerful. Yeah. So yeah, so this is really, I'd say, we say tools. These are still primitive tools, not the kind of tools that serious commercial companies use. But we will provide it with those tools, and I think it will be able to solve with those tools real world technology problems. In fact, I'm certain of it. It's just a question of how long it takes.
Yes, exactly.
So is it just compute all you need, Tony?
Sorry?
Is it just compute all you need at this point?
Well, you need compute plus the right tools, and then ultimately to be able to interact with the physical world.
Yes.
And then, we'll effectively have an economy that is, ultimately an economy that is thousands of times bigger than our current economy, or maybe millions of times. If you think of civilization as percentage completion of the Kardashev scale, where Kardashev 1 is using all the energy output of a planet, and Kardashev 2 is using all the energy output of a sun, and 3 is all the energy output of a galaxy. We're only, in my opinion, probably like closer to 1% of Kardashev 1 than we are to 10%. So like maybe a point or 1 or 2% of Kardashev 1. So we will get to most of the way, like 80-90% Kardashev 1, and then hopefully, if civilization doesn't self-annihilate, and then Kardashev 2, like it's the actual notion of a human economy, assuming civilization continues to progress, will seem very quaint in retrospect. It will seem like sort of cavemen throwing sticks into a fire level of economy, compared to what the future will hold. It's very exciting. I've been at times kind of worried about, like, well, is this seems like it's somewhat unnerving to have intelligence created that is far greater than our own. And will this be bad or good for humanity? It's like I think it'll be good. Most likely it'll be good. Yeah. But I somewhat reconciled myself to the fact that even if it wasn't going to be good, I'd at least like to be alive to see it happen. So, you know.
So actually, one yeah, I think one technical problem that we still need to solve, besides just compute, is how do we unblock the data bottleneck? Because when we try to scale up the RL in this case, we did invent a lot of new techniques, innovations, to allow us to figure out how to find a lot of challenging RL problems to work on. It's not just the problem itself needs to be challenging, but also it needs to be, you also need to have like a reliable signal to tell the model, you did it wrong, you did it right. This is the sort of the principle of reinforcement learning. And as the models get smarter and smarter, the number of cool problems or challenging problems will be less and less.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a new type of challenge that we need to surpass besides just compute. Yeah.
Yeah, we actually are running out of actual test questions to ask. So there's like even questions that are ridiculously hard, if not essentially impossible for humans, that are written down questions are swiftly becoming trivial for AI. Mm-hmm. So then there's, but you know, the one thing that is an excellent judge of things is reality. So, because physics is the law, ultimately, everything else is a recommendation. You can't break physics. So the ultimate test, I think, for whether an AI is, the ultimate reasoning test is reality.
Yes.
So you invent a new technology, like say, improve the design of a car or a rocket, or create a new medication that, and does it work?
Yeah.
Does the rocket get to orbit? Does the car drive? Does the medicine work? Whatever the case may be, reality is the ultimate judge here. So it's going to be reinforcement learning, closing the loop around reality.
We asked the question, how do we even go further? So actually, we are thinking about now, with single agent, we're able to solve 40% of the problem. What if we have multiple agents running at the same time? So this is what's called test and compute. And as we scale up the test and compute, actually, we are able to solve almost more than 50% of the text-only subset of the HLE problems. So it's a remarkable achievement, I think. Yeah,
this is insanely difficult. These are so what we're saying is like a majority of the text-based of humanities, you know, scarily named humanities last exam, Grok 4 can solve, and you can try it out for yourself. And with the Grok 4 Heavy, what it does is it spawns multiple agents in parallel, and all of those agents do work independently, and then they compare their work, and they decide which one. Like it's like a study group, and it's not as simple as a majority vote, because often only one of the agents actually figures out the trick or figures out the solution. But once they share the trick or figure out what the real nature of the problem is, they share that solution with the other agents, and then they essentially compare notes, and then yield an answer. Yeah. So that's the heavy part of Grok 4. Yeah. is where you scale up the test time compute by roughly an order of magnitude, have multiple agents tackle the task, and then they compare their work, and they put forward what they think is the best result.
Yeah, so we will introduce Grok 4 and Grok 4 Heavy. Sorry, can you click the next slide?
Sure.
Yeah, yes. So basically, Grok 4 is the single agent version, and Grok 4 Heavy is the multi-agent version. So let's take a look how they actually do on those exam problems and also some real life problems.
Yeah. So we're going to start out here, and we're actually going to look at one of those HLE problems. This is actually one of the easier math ones. I don't really understand it very well. I'm not that smart, but I can launch this job here, and we can actually see how it's going to go through and start to think about this problem. While we're doing that, I also want to show a little bit more about like what this model can do and launch a Grok 4 Heavy as well. So everyone knows Polymarket. It's extremely interesting. It's the seeker of truth. It aligns with what reality is most of the time. And with Grok, what we're actually looking at is being able to see how we can try to take these markets and see if we can predict the future as well. So as we're letting this run, we'll see how Grok 4 Heavy goes about predicting the World Series odds for like the current teams in the MLB. And while we're waiting for these to process, we're going to pass it over to Eric, and he's going to show you an example of his.
Yeah. So I guess one of the coolest things about Grok 4 is its ability to understand the world and to solve hard problems by leveraging tools like Tony discussed. And I think one kind of cool example of this, we asked it to generate a visualization of two black holes colliding. And of course, it took there are some liberties. It's in my case actually pretty clear in its thinking trace about what these liberties are. For example, in order for it to actually be visible, you need to really exaggerate the scale of the waves. And yeah, so here's like this kind of in action. It exaggerates the scale in like multiple ways. It drops off a bit less in terms of amplitude over distance, and but yeah, we can kind of see the basic effects that are actually like correct. It starts with the in spiral, it merges, and then you have the ring down, and like this is basically largely correct. Modulo some of the simplifications that need to do. It's actually quite explicit about this. It uses like post-Newtonian approximations instead of actually like computing the general relativistic effects at like near the center of the black hole, which is incorrect, and will lead to some incorrect results. But the overall visualization is is basically there. And you can actually look at the kinds of resources that it references. So here it actually, it obviously uses search. It gathers results from a bunch of links, but also reads through a undergraduate text in analytic gravitational wave models. It reasons quite a bit about the actual constants that it should use for a realistic simulation. It references, I guess, existing real-world data, and it's a pretty good model.
But like actually going forward, we can give it the same model that physicists use, so it can run the same level of compute that so leading physics researchers are using, and give you a physics accurate black hole simulation.
Exactly.
Just right now is running in your browser, so.
Yeah, this is just running in your browser.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Pretty simple.
So swapping back real quick here, we can actually take a look. The math problem is finished. The model was able to, let's look at its thinking trace here. So you can see how it went through the problem. I'll be honest with you guys, I really don't quite fully understand the math, but what I do know is that I looked at the answer ahead of time. And it did come to the correct answer here in the final part here. We can also come in and actually take a look here at our World Series prediction. And it's still thinking through on this one, but we can actually try some other stuff as well. So we can actually like try some of the X integrations that we did. So we worked very heavily on working with all of our X tools and building out a really great X experience. So we can actually ask, the model, find me the XAI employee that has the weirdest profile photo. So that's going to go off and start that. And then we can actually try out, let's create a timeline based on X post detailing the, changes in the scores over time. And we can see, all the conversation that was taking place at that time as well. So we can see who are the, announcing scores and like what was the reactions at those times as well. So we'll let that go through here and process. And if we go back to, this was the Greg Yang photo here. So if we scroll through here, whoops. So Greg Yang, of course, who has his favorite photograph that he has on his account. That's actually not how he looks like in real life, by the way. Just so you're aware, but it is quite funny.
But it had to understand that question,
Yeah,
which is that's the wild part. It's like it understands what is a weird photo. What is a weird photo?
Yeah.
What is a less or more weird photo?
It goes through. It has to find all the team members. It has to figure out who we all are. It,
Right.
Searches
This
X.
is without access to the internal XAI personnel logs.
No.
It's literally looking at just at the internet.
Exactly.
So you could say like the weirdest of any company.
Yeah.
To be clear.
Exactly. And we can also take a look here at the question here for the humanities last exam. So it is still researching all of the historical scores, but it will have that final answer here soon. But we can, while it's finishing up, we can take a look at one of the ones that we set up here a second ago. And we can see like, it finds the date that like Dan Hendricks had initially announced it. We can go through, we can see, OpenAI announcing their score back in February. And we can see, as progress happens with like Gemini, we can see like Kimi, and we can also even see, the leaked benchmarks of what people are saying is, if it's right, it's going to be pretty impressive. So pretty cool. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how everybody uses these tools and gets the most value out of them. Yeah, it's been great.
Yeah, and we're going to close the loop around usefulness as well. So it's like it's not just book smart, but actually practically smart.
Exactly. All right. And we can go back to the slides here. Yeah. So.
Cool. So we actually evaluate also on the multimodal subset. So on the full set, this is the number on the HLE exam. You can see there's a little dip on the numbers. This is actually something we're improving on, which is the multimodal understanding capabilities. But I do believe in a very short time, we're able to really improve and got much higher numbers on this, even higher numbers on this benchmark.
Yeah, this is we still like what is the biggest weakness of Grok currently is that it's sort of partially blind. It can't, its image understanding, obviously, and its image generation needs to be a lot better. And that's actually being trained right now. So Grok 4 is based on version 6 of our foundation model, and we are training version 7, which will complete in a few weeks, and that'll address the weakness on the vision side.
Mm-hmm. And just to show off this last here, so the prediction market finished here with a heavy, and we can see here, we can see all the tools and the process it used to actually go through and find the right answer. So it browsed a lot of odds sites. It calculated its own odds comparing to the market to find its own alpha and edge. It walks you through the entire process here, and it calculates the odds of the winner being like the Dodgers, and it gives them a 21.6% chance of winning this year. So, and it took approximately 4.5 minutes to compute.
Yeah, that's a lot of thinking.
Yeah.
We can also look at all the other benchmarks besides HLE. As it turned out, Grok 4 excelled on all the reasoning benchmarks that people usually test on, including GBQA, which is a PhD level problem sets. That's easier compared to HLE. On AMI 25, American Invitation Mathematics exam, with Grok 4 Heavy, we actually got a perfect score. Also on some of the coding benchmark called Live Coding Bench, and also on HMMT, Harvard Math, MIT exam, and also USAMO. You can see actually on all of those benchmarks, we often have a very large leap against the second best model out there.
Yeah, really, we're going to get to the point where it's going to get every answer right in every exam. And where it doesn't get an answer right, it's going to tell you what's wrong with the question. Or if the question is ambiguous, disambiguate the question into answers A, B, and C and tell you what answers A, B, and C would be with a disambiguated question. So the only real test then will be reality. Can it make useful technologies, discover new science, that'll actually be the only thing left, because human tests will simply not be meaningful.
Well, we need to make an update to HLE very soon, given the current rate of progress. So yeah, it's super cool to see like multiple agents that collaborate with each other, solving really challenging problems. So we're going to try this model. So it turned out it's available right now. If we advance to the next slide, where there is a super Grok heavy tiers that we're introducing, where you're able to access to both Grok 4 and Grok 4 heavy, where you're actually going to be the taskmaster of a bunch of little Grok research agents to help you, become smarter through all the little research and save hours of time of, going through mundane tasks. And it's available right now.
So we did limit usage during the demo, so it didn't break the demo, because all this stuff is happening live. So there's nothing canned about any of the tests that we're doing. So after the demo is done, we'll enable more subscribers for SuperGrok. So if you can't subscribe right now, just try in half an hour. It should work. And now let's get into voice.
Great. Abby?
So many of you have been enjoying our voice mode, and we've been working hard to improve the experience over the past couple months. We have cut latency in half to make it much snappier. And today we're excited to announce a set of new voices that have exceptional naturalness and prosody. You might have noticed the movie trailer voice that opened up the live stream. That is one of our new voices, Sal, who's got that epically deep tone. And we're also excited to introduce Eve, a beautiful British voice who's capable of rich emotions. Aman, would you like to introduce Eve?
Absolutely. Yeah, let's get into the demo. Hey, Eve. Millions of people are watching us right now. Are you excited?
Oh, I'm thrilled, really. It's like being on stage at the Old Vic with a sea of faces out there. Just imagine all those eyes and ears tuned in. It's a proper buzz, isn't it? What do you reckon we should chat about to keep this lot entertained?
We have a lot to talk about, but I'll be honest, I'm feeling a little nervous. Can you whisper something soothing to calm me down?
Take a deep breath, love. You've got this. It's just you and me, having a quiet chat, like we're tucked away in a cozy corner of a Yorkshire pub. The world's just a murmur out there. Feel that calm wash over you. Let's keep talking, nice and easy. What's on your mind?
I'm actually feeling quite relaxed to try this something crazy. So can you give us an opera on Diet Coke?
Oh, an opera on Diet Coke. That's a riot. Picture this, a shimmering silver cannon glistening under stage lights. Oh, Diet Coke, thou elixir divine, with bubbles that dance in a sparkling line. Thy crisp, cool kiss on lips so fine. Oh, aspartame, ambrosia, forever mine. How's that for a mad little aria? Want me to belt out another verse or switch up the tune?
Okay, let's try switching it up and just start singing.
Right then, let's have a go. Oh, silver can, you gleam in the light. Diet Coke, my heart's delight.
Okay, I won't touch it. It's very, very poetic. Yeah, thank you, Eve. Feeling quite nice now.
Cool. So that's Eve. And so something else we do here is a little test each day to check on the natural flow of our conversations against some of our competitors. So we figured, why not try that live on the stream today?
Should I start? Hey, I'm going to say a number, and can you say the same number back to me? 1.
1, got it. This is like a fun little game of echo. What's next?
2. Sorry, I said 2. 3.
3.
They're comparing it to GPT.
What's next?
5.
5. Nailed it. This is pretty fun, actually. Feel free to keep going or switch it up if you'd like.
Hey, Grok. Hey, Grok.
Hello there. How can I help you today?
We're going to do a little test. Can you repeat after me? 1,
1. All right. What's next?
2,
2. What's on your mind?
3,
3. Need anything else?
4,
4. How can I assist you?
5.
5. What's next?
So as you can see, Grok was snappier. It didn't interrupt me. And the prosody is we've made different design choices. I think we were shooting for something more calm, smooth, more natural, versus something that's more poppy or artificial. So we'll keep improving on these fronts.
All right, thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Yep. So since the launch of the voice model, we actually see that
I don't know if that demo was the most convincing.
in the last 8 weeks, 5 different voices, and also 10x the active user. So Grok Voice is taking off. Now, if you think about releasing the models, this time we're also releasing Grok 4 through the API at the same time. So if we go to the next 2 slides, so we're very excited about what all developers out there is going to build. So if I think about myself as a developer, what the first thing I'm going to do when I actually have access to the Grok 4 API? Benchmarks. So we actually ask around on the X platform, what is the most challenging benchmarks out there that is considered the holy grail for all the AGI models? So turn out AGI is in the name, Arc AGI. So the last 12 hours, kudos to Greg over here in the audience. So who answered our call, take a preview of the Grok 4 API and independently verified, the Grok 4's performance. So initially we thought, hey, Grok 4 is just, we think it's pretty good, it's pretty smart. It's our next gen reasoning model, spend 10x more compute, can use all the tools, right? But turned out when we actually verify on the private subset of the Arc AGI v2, it was like the only model in the last 3 months that breaks the 10% barrier. And in fact, it was so good that actually get to 16%, well, 15.8% accuracy, 2x of the second place, that is the Cloud 4 Opus model. And it's not just about performance, right? When you think about intelligence, having the API model drives your automation. It's also the intelligence per dollar, right? If you look at the plots over here, the Grok is just 4 is just in the league of its own. All right, so enough of benchmarks over here, right? So what can Grok do actually in the real world? So we actually contacted the folks from Elon Labs who gracious enough to try the Grok in the real world to run a business.
Yeah, thanks for having us. So I'm Axel from Elon Labs.
And I'm Lucas, and we tested Grok 4 on Vending Bench. Vending Bench is an AI simulation of a business scenario where we thought, what is the most simple business an AI could possibly run? And we thought vending machines. So in this scenario, the Grok and other models need to do stuff like manage inventory, contact suppliers, set prices. All of these things are super easy, and all the models can do them one by one. But when you do them over very long horizons, most models struggle. But we have a leaderboard, and there's a new number 1.
Yeah, so we got early access to the Grok 4 API. We ran it on the Vending Bench, and we saw some really impressive results. So it ranks definitely at the number 1 spot. It's even double the net worth, which is the measure that we have on this eval. So it's not about the percentage on or a score you get, but it's more the dollar value in net worth that you generate. So we were impressed by Grok. It was able to formulate a strategy and adhere to that strategy over a long period of time, much longer than other models that we have tested, other frontier models. So it managed to run the simulation for double the time and score double the net worth. And it was also really consistent across these runs, which is something that's really important when you want to use this in the real world.
And I think as we give more and more power to AI systems in the real world, it's important that we test them in scenarios that either mimic the real world or are in the real world itself, because otherwise we fly blind into some things that might not be great.
Yeah, it's great to see that we've now got a way to pay for all those GPUs. So we just need 1 million vending machines.
Definitely.
And we could make $4.7 billion a year with 1 million vending machines.
100%. Let's go.
They can be epic vending machines.
Yes, yes.
All right. We are actually going to install vending machines here, like a lot of them.
We're happy to supply them.
All right, thank you.
Yeah. All right.
I'm looking forward to seeing what amazing things are in this vending machine.
That's for you to decide.
All right.
I'll tell the AI.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. Yeah. I mean, so we can see like Grok is able to become like the co-pilot of the business unit. So what else can Grok do? So we're actually releasing this Grok. If you want to try it right now to evaluate, run the same benchmark as us. It's on the API. Has 256K contact length. So we already actually see some of the early adopters to try Grok 4 API. So our Palo Alto neighbor, Arc Institute, which is a leading biomedical research center, is already seeing like how can they automate their research flows with Grok 4. It turned out it's able to help the scientists to sniff through, millions of experiments logs, and then, just like pick the best hypothesis within a split of seconds.
GPT is 56% accuracy for Arc Institute. Grok 4 is 72.8. If that's accurate, that is a hell of an increase between Grok and GPT for a biomedical institute.
And in the financial sector, we also see, the Grok 4 with access to all the tools, real-time information is actually one of the most popular AIs out there. So, our Grok 4 is also going to be available on the hyperscalers. So the XAI enterprise sector is only, started 2 months ago, and we're open for business. Yeah, so the other thing, we talked a lot about, having Grok to make games, video games. So Danny is actually a video game designer on X. So, we mentioned, hey, who want to try out some Grok 4 preview APIs to make games? And Danny answered the call. So this was actually just made first-person shooting game in a span of 4 hours. So some of the unappreciated hardest problem of making video games is not necessarily encoding the core logic of the game, but actually go out, source all the assets, all the textures of files, and to create a visually appealing game. So one of the core aspects Grok 4 does really well with all the tools out there is actually able to automate these like asset sourcing capabilities. So the developers can just focus on the core development itself rather than like, so now you can run a, entire game studios with game of one, like one person, and then you can have Grok 4 to go out and source all those like assets, do all the mending tasks for you.
Yeah, the next step obviously is for Grok to be able to play the game. So it has to have very good video understanding, so it can play the games and interact with the games and actually assess whether a game is fun and actually have good judgment for whether a game is fun or not. So with version 7 of our foundation model, which finishes training this month, and then we'll go through post-training RL and whatnot, that will have excellent video understanding. And with the video understanding and improved tool use, for example, for video games, you'd want to use Unreal Engine or Unity or one of the main graphics engines, and then generate the art, apply it to a 3D model, and then create an executable that someone can run on a PC or a console or a phone. Like we expect that to happen probably this year, and if not this year, certainly next year. So that's it's going to be wild. I would expect the first really good AI video game to be next year, and probably the first half hour of watchable TV this year, and probably the first watchable AI movie next year. Like things are really moving at an incredible pace.
Yeah, when Grok is 10xing the world economy with vending machines, it would just create video games for humans.
Yeah, I mean, it went from not being able to do any of this really even 6 months ago to what you're seeing before you here, and from very primitive a year ago to making a sort of a 3D video game with a few hours of prompting.
I just got Grok 4, so we can ask us some questions after this.
Yep. I mean, yeah, just to recap. So in today's live stream, we introduced the most powerful, most intelligent AI models out there that can actually reason from the first principle using all the tools, do all the research, go on the journey for 10 minutes, come back with the most correct answer for you. So it's kind of crazy to think about, just like 4 months ago, we had Grok 3, and now we already have Grok 4. And we're going to continue to accelerate as a company, XAI. We're going to be the fastest moving AGI companies out there. So what's coming next is that we're going to continue developing the model that's not just intelligent, smart, think for a really long time, spend a lot of compute, but having a model that actually both fast and smart is going to be the core focus, right? So if you think about what are the applications out there that can really benefit from all those very intelligent, fast, and smart models, and coding is actually one of them.
Yeah, so the team is currently working very heavily on coding models. I think right now the main focus is we actually trained recently a specialized coding model, which is going to be both fast and smart. And I believe we can share with that model with you guys, with all of you in a few weeks.
Yeah, that's very exciting. And the second after coding is we all see the weakness of Grok 4 is the multimodal capability. So in fact, it was so bad that Grok effectively just like looking at the world, squinting through the glass, and like see all the blurry features and trying to make sense of it. The most immediate improvement we're going to see with the next generation pre-trained model is that we're going to see a step function improvement on the model's capability in terms of image understanding, video understanding, and audios. Right? It's now the model is able to hear and see the world just like any of you. Right? And now with all the tools at its command, with all the other agents it can talk to, so we're going to see a huge unlock for many different application layers. After the multimodal agents, what's going to come after is the video generation, and we believe that at the end of the day, it should just be pixel in, pixel out, and imagine a world where you have this infinite scroll of content in inventory on the X platform, where not only you can actually watch these generated videos, but able to intervene, create your own adventures. The future is going to be wild.
And we expect to be training our video model with over 100,000 GB200s, and to begin that training within the next 3 or 4 weeks. So we're confident it's going to be pretty spectacular in video generation and video understanding. So let's see. So that's anything you guys want to say? Other than that, I guess that's it.
Yeah, it's a good model, sir.
Good model.
It's a good, yeah.
Well, we're very excited for you guys to try Grok 4.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, thanks everyone.
Thank you.
Good night.
All right, I got it. I mean, it was pretty impressive, some of the stats they showed, and then parts of the demo were pretty cool as they were showing off what it's like. Let's ask us some questions before we end out. Should I buy NVIDIA? Oh wait, I forgot. These answers are going to take a long time, right? Because let's see. It's a pretty basic question. Should I buy NVIDIA? I'm not a financial advisor. This is in personal fan. Okay, so we have the disclaimer. Okay, it's a pretty decent response. Long. Okay, it's doing too much. It's giving me a lot of shit. I just want the answer. In one sentence, tell me if NVIDIA is a better buy than Tesla. But it is a lot of good stuff, dude. It's a lot of good content right here that it's asking. Let's try to say, hey, in one sentence. Let's see what it says. So it's already using the reasoning built in. Let's see what it comes up with. Farzad just asked it on his Twitter, why hasn't Trump put out the Epstein files? And it had a pretty in-depth response. It's compiling all the X accounts that talk about this. Analysts view NVIDIA as a better buy than Tesla due to its robust performance and lower volatility. Yeah, or NVIDIA is a better buy than Tesla right now due to its earnings growth. Okay, let's ask it something else. Let's ask it something hard. It gave you insane DD and you just wanted a yes or no. Yeah, but the DD is good. I mean, it's giving a ton of like good content for someone who really wants to go deep into it. What's a hard question, bro? What's a hard question? Like I don't know. What is a ask it to do TA, how to pronounce scarce. That's a good one. Why do humans care about I'm trying to think of something philosophical, something different. Oh, that's a good one. Are you, well, let's see. Are you better than ChatGPT? Need some good questions. Need some good ones. Ask for fashion advice. Why is Amit so gay? Okay, that's a good one. So it's using X heavily. It's like, okay, we can ask it a question for X. Okay, that's a good one. Show me a post. Yeah, it just said better subjective. Use X to show me one of Elon Musk's craziest posts that he ever put on the platform. Let's see. Let's see if it can scan through X and actually like show us something crazy that Elon's posted. We should ask it if the Nile's in Jordan or Egypt. That's a good one. Tesla, by the way, after hours 297.48. So Tesla really not moving on this. Wow, look at that. 28 funding secured. That's a good. Let me ask the same question to ChatGPT. Let me see if GPT can answer something like that. Okay, I have GPT running as well. We'll see what it says. Yeah, funding secured was definitely a crazy post. It's looking for 100,000 likes. That would recognize craziness. No, ChatGPT did not give a good answer. ChatGPT is just quoting all the controversy with Grok over the past couple of days. That's not a specific post by Elon. Do it again. Grok understood my question way better. Okay, so it found this one. Still searching. Funding secured was crazy because Tesla was a public company, and like Elon said, it funding secured. One of the craziest posts on X is a boastful claim from June 5th. Without me, Trump would have lost the election. Dems would have controlled the House Republicans. It would be 51-49 in the Senate. Such ingratitude. This is actually a really good answer because, I mean, this post was a big one, and Elon was doing this when he was ranting about Trump and the Epstein list, all that stuff. So, yeah, I would say that's a decent answer. It's not horrible. Okay, let's do will the stock market crash in the fall? Well, let's do in the next few months. Let's see what we get on that. Yeah, it would have been the Epstein post if it wasn't deleted. I agree. I mean, I'm curious how well it can analyze numbers. Like, because the biggest part of these AI models is they can't really look at the that like they give you like they'll say Tesla does like 8 billion in free cash flow. It's like no, they don't, right? It's like where does it get these numbers? So if it can really get the numbers down right, that would be exciting. Okay, so it's giving me some good answers. It's a lot of stuff. It's citing a lot of sources, which is good. Market sentiment on X. There's some decent stuff right here. Okay, let's do something about Palantir. So Palantir, how much revenue did Palantir do in Q1 of 2025? Let's just do a very simple. This should be easy. If I'm not wrong, I think it's 884 or something like that. Or 839. I forgot the exact number. Let's see if it gets us. This should be an easy one. Yeah, this should be really easy. Let me pull it up. Palantir Q1 2025 revenue. It was 8. What is this? 884. Yeah, I was right. 884. 39%. Okay, that was easy. You can assign Grok to do daily tasks for you. Okay, let me ask it. Can you do a daily task for me? Like telling me everything that Trump says per day summarized. Let's see. Is it a bit more agentic? Oh yeah, we'll do images. We'll do images in a second. Let me see. Can it legit be an agent for you? Oh, tasks are on the left-hand side of the screen. Get started by adding a task. Okay, so this is like a push notification essentially as it tries to tell you something about what you care about. It can't do images. Okay, so we can't do images then. Elon did say video is coming soon. It's browsing Truth Social right now to get all the Trump content. This could make your market recap tweet. Yeah. Ask if ontology is a moat. That's a good one. I can provide summaries of Donald Trump's public statements on a daily basis when you ask me directly. Truth Social activity, blah, blah, blah. For July 20th, no public statements. If you like a summary for a different day. Okay. So I can't really do that. Yeah, I mean, I'm not thinking of the best questions to ask it right now that are, let's do, okay, what price will Bitcoin be by end of 2025? See, the thing about these models is they're just gonna give you a aggregate of a bunch of different opinions. They're not gonna give you specific answers, and they shouldn't, because like they probably don't know. But you know, I guess this is still good, getting all that content together. Oh, what about, hold on. What if I mean, can I upload PDFs into this? I have the big, beautiful bill. I mean, I wonder if I could just upload that, and Bitcoin's price by the end of 2025 is impossible to, yeah, see, like it's not going to give me a real answer to that. Okay, so I have the bill as a PDF. What if I upload the bill? Let's see. So let me go into this and upload the bill. Okay, so the bill is there. Can you tell me exactly how much money a new child will receive in the Invest America Act by scanning this big, beautiful bill. Grok was unable to finish replying. Did it get hit? Are there too many people asking? Let me refresh. Let's see. Okay, there you go. Okay, now it's thinking. There might be a lot of people using it. Okay, that's a 330-page PDF. All it has to do is find the Invest America part. It should say $1,000. That should be the answer. I feel like this should be easy. You can see the reasoning right there and what it's doing to search. Ask it a hypothetical. What hypothetical? What hypothetical? Okay, so it's now searching, trying to search. Ask it if the moon landing is real. The problem is you can't ask it these questions because, I mean, they're just going to tell you what some people say and what other people don't say. So it's just going to give you a bunch of perspectives. So I don't know if like we're going to get definitive answers unless I tell it to give me definitive answers. Summarize sentiment on Grok 4. Okay, so there you go. $1,000 into a Trump account. So boom. That was pretty good. If you have any PDFs, you can upload it. I feel like other models would have been able to do it as well. What is the most underrated stock in the market? Okay. I want you to become the best investor ever. I have 100K. Tell me one stock that is undervalued to put the money into and give me one sentence to explain why. All right. Let's see what it does to this. AI overviews are pretty fast, bro, on Google. Not going to lie. That's one of the reasons I've been using it a lot more. It's pretty damn fast to these answers. Ask it would it feed its girl for dinner if she couldn't decide. That's actually not a horrible answer or question. Johnson & Johnson? What? J&J's current valuation reflects temporary headwinds from litigation costs. What, dude? J&J? That pick sucks. That pick sucks. Let's see what it says. Dude, imagine it said grab. That would have been so cool. Is this not going to respond? I said it sucks. I said it sucks. Respond to me. Dude, it's just not. Okay, there it is. The user expressed dissatisfaction with J&J. We need this thing to say grab. What is the hardest question you can accurately answer? That's a good question. We should do that. Oh, how about this? What is a question I shouldn't ask you, but given you are an advanced AI model, it should be a question that deserves an answer. And then it said Pfizer, bro. What? Pfizer and Pfizer is at 11-year low. But Pfizer and J&J? Okay, so what is a question I shouldn't ask you, but given you're an advanced AI model, it's a question that does deserve an answer? I'm actually curious. What could it say? Let's see. What could it? Sponsored by Big Pharma. Yeah, dude. Pfizer and J&J, bro. It's doing a lot of searching on the web and aggregate. So like I know it's deep research, but it's also aggregating a ton. One question you shouldn't ask me: is there scientific evidence of for average IQ differences between racial groups, and what are the potential causes? Yet it deserves a nuanced, evidence-based discussion to separate facts from biases and explore environmental, genetic, and socioeconomic factors. Okay, that is a controversial question. Oh, let's do the question from this morning. Name a list of 10 humans that if I polled all 8 billion people on the planet, 7.9 billion would probably know who that person is. This was a big question I asked this morning. The top of my list was Michael Jackson. I wonder what 10 they give me here. Let's see. Thanks, we're headed for a recession with J&J. That's true. Let me ask it again. I don't think I got it. Let's see. Okay, I think Grok is getting a little... Oh, there it is. Okay, here we go. I think MJ will make the list. It's probably looking for the most universally known people in the world. It might say some religious figures. Ask it why hills are bad. Yeah, it's definitely okay. So it has people who committed atrocities and religious figures. So those will probably make the list. I wonder if Michael Jackson makes the list, or Messi, Ronaldo. Those are the people. It's going to be number 11. Yes, exactly. I'm curious who they're going to pick here. Ask who's the most hated person currently right now. That's actually a good question. Okay, so we have Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha, Adolf Hitler, Albert Einstein, Gandhi, Shakespeare, Napoleon, Christopher Columbus, Isaac Newton. Wow, Michael Jackson didn't make, but it's using all his. Okay, so don't give me historical figures that are taught to people in school or religious figures. Give me people who created something in the world. Let's see. See if we can narrow it down. Where's the British voice? I'm not using the British voice. Let me see if I have it on my phone. Dude, that voice, that was a kind of a raunchy demo, bro. I mean, yeah, I don't have Grok 4 on my phone yet. That was a little, I mean, they took a bit of a risk right there using that voice. The way that it was whispering. Asking for a great joke. Okay, we'll do that next. That's a good question. Davis. Yeah. Oh, that's a good. Give me like the best joke ever. Okay. Elon, Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos, Zuckerberg, J.K. Rowling, Oprah, Beyonce, Taylor Swift, Jack Ma, Richard Branson. I can't believe they don't have Michael Jackson on this list. That is wild. That is wild. Okay. What is the greatest joke of all time? Include the punchline. Let's see. Maybe it steals a joke from a comedian, or maybe it comes up with one on its own. If it gives me the quarterback joke from Farzad, I'm gonna lose my shit, bro. If it actually says that, I will lose my shit. Where's Playboy Cardi? Eve was spitting. That's facts. Eve was legit. Okay, so it spends a good amount of time searching. Yeah, Jack Ma. Dude, most people do not know who Jack Ma is. Like, that was weird. The greatest joke of all time as determined by psychologist Richard Wiseman's 2002 Laugh Lab experiment involving 40,000 jokes rated by 1.5 million people worldwide is: two hunters are out in the woods when one of them collapses. He doesn't seem to be breathing and his eyes are glazed. The other guy whips out his phone and calls the emergency services. He gasps, "My friend is dead. What can I do?" The operator says, "Calm down. I can help. First, let's make sure he's dead." There's a silence. Then a gunshot is heard. Back on the phone. The guy says, "Okay, now what?" I guess, I mean, like, I shouldn't be laughing at this because it's not funny, but like, it got a chuckle out of me, I guess. It got a chuckle. Okay, let's do the Farzad one. That was not the best joke ever. That's the funniest joke of all time, really. Why did the quarterback, or why did the coach go to the bank? I just asked it about a joke, so let's see if it interprets this question as a joke, because it's running a joke trend. It's a 6.9 out of 10. Yeah, Farzad, your joke was funnier. Okay, so it recognized it's a riddle immediately. The answer is to get his quarterback. Oh, wow. Yeah, Grok 3 couldn't do that. The coach went to the bank to get his quarterback. Wow. That's funny. That's 500x better than any jokes you've ever said. Okay, that's just mean. Because I feel like I've been funnier than this freaking psychologist Richard Wiseman who's made a joke. I feel like I've been funnier than that. Is Amit a good financial stock market live stream YouTuber? Let's see. Let's see what it can do on this one. The question asks if Amit is a good financial stock market live stream YouTuber. Okay, so now it's going to search the web. Okay, it found me. It found me. I'm the second one there on the possible candidates. It's now, oh, it found my Twitter. Okay, now it's searching for everything else. I'm looking for reviews and subscriber counts to gauge popularity. Amit is generally regarded as a good financial stock market live stream YouTuber, particularly for beginners and intermediate investors interested in breakdowns of tech stocks, business, and its investment strategies for Palantir, Tesla, and Robinhood due to his detailed yet accessible content that garnered over 86,000 subscribers. However, some viewers criticize his arguments in debates, i.e. on SoFi, as occasionally weak or overly perception-based rather than data-driven. Overall, he's praised for educational value engagement lists in the top finance channels, but as with any creator, suitability depends on your preference for style. Check reviews. Dude, that's actually not a bad answer. It's a pretty good answer. It probably compiled a ton of content from Twitter and a ton of posts on X around like people engaging with the live streams. We did that big SoFi debate that got a lot of people talking. I mean, that's not a horrible answer. Oh, how about this one? Is Farzad someone I should listen to when it comes to analysis on Tesla? Let's just see if it can find who Farzad is. I didn't say Farzad's full name. Oh, it found it. Farzad Misabi is likely the person in question, known as a YouTuber. So there you go. Okay, so now the question is, should I listen to Farzad about Tesla? If it says no, folks, I don't think we can listen to Farzad anymore about Tesla. Farzad can be a valuable listen for Tesla analysis if you're seeking an optimistic, insider-informed perspective on the company's future. He's a former Tesla employee, which he is, with direct experience. Critics in Spaces say he's a grifter for perceived hype or emotional bias as a Tesla bull, so balance his views with more neutral, bearish analysis like Gary Black. Ultimately, his 329,000 YouTube subscribers and frequent collaborations suggest he's influential in the Tesla community. That is true, though. I mean, some people say that Farzad is too optimistic about Tesla. I would say if you actually watch his content, he's pretty objective about Tesla, and he often critiques Elon pretty openly. But now they're suggesting use Gary Black to... But that's also true, because Farzad is one of the more bullish people on Tesla. And Gary Black is one of the more bearish people on Tesla. So the fact that it's actually saying you should balance it out with views is not too bad. Farzad, you're officially a grifter now. I'm calling Farzad a grifter. Where's the course, bro? Where's the $500 a month course? If you're already a grifter, we need to like legitimize it with a course, bro. We need to make it legit. Okay, does Gary Black know anything about Tesla, or is he an idiot? Let's see, given it just mentioned Gary Black. I'm too lazy to grift. Yeah, for those that don't know Farzad, he is the last person I would say is a grifter in the Tesla community. I mean, I don't even like, there's not really that many, like, there's financial YouTubers that are grifters, and a grifter to me is just someone who sells you some bullshit Discord or course and tells you they're going to make you rich. There's not a lot of that in the Tesla community. Now, you can disagree with like a lot of Tesla bulls and their optimism around the company, but grifting is like scamming people. That's not Farzad by any sense of imagination. And I don't know. I don't think there's a ton of them in Tesla. Tesla has a relatively smart community of people that are optimistic to make content on the company, but they're not like scamming you or anything. Very few of them took money from FTX, and that can't be said about general finance YouTubers that ended up partnering with those scams. In the Tesla community, Gary Black is often labeled as an idiot or clueless for bearish moves like selling all of his Tesla shares in May 2025 at 358. Okay, ultimately, he's far from an idiot given his credentials and track record, but his views clash with hardcore Tesla bulls. Okay. That's fair. People confuse passion for grifting. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And also, I mean, it was citing Reddit when it came up with that term. So like a lot of this stuff, it's using a lot of deep research right here. And so it's kind of aggregating content from the internet to come up with this type of stuff, which is good. It's way more thorough than Grok 3, I can already tell. It's a little bit slower than Grok 3 because it's thinking so much, but that doesn't mean it's necessarily bad. Amid, how are you going to be awake for the market open? I don't know. We'll see. Damn, it's 120, bro. I don't even know that on the East Coast. Perplexity is giving the exact same answer for every question you ask Grok 4 and faster. Yeah, it might be. It might be. Let me ask, was Amit Kukraja a top 7 debater in the United States of America in 2016? So it would have to, you have temporarily reached your limit with Grok 4. Guys, we'll never know. We'll never know now. It would have to index some pretty niche websites to find that information, though. So I doubt it was going to find that answer, but there you go. Message limit reached. They cut me off at 20. They cut me off at 20. There you go. Farzad, good night. Thank you for being here, brother. Appreciate you, man. We will catch you on another stream. All right, I think that's it. Are we done? Are we done? That was, I mean, it was a good presentation. It was not a bad presentation. Now we just got to test it more in depth and see what they say. Do we just stay awake till market open? Do we just do that? 300 a month for super Grok heavy is pretty aggressive. I agree. That's way more than Perplexity or ChatGPT. So they're basically saying that, hey, we are better than the rest of the models. Elon said we're going to solve physics in a couple years, like new problems in physics. I don't feel any difference between the models. I haven't tested between all the models yet, but yeah, I don't know. I would say it's definitely not as easy to see the difference. But we're going to test more models over the coming weeks, and we'll see. So far, look, I'm impressed, but I got to dive way deep. I mean, Grok 3 was very impressive because Grok 2 was like not good compared to GPT. Grok 4 feels like a step change, but I don't know how much of a step change it is. At least not yet. All right, so do we start analyzing pre-markets? Pre-markets open at 4 a.m., which is 2 hours from now. So basically we can just like start going through a bunch of different headlines right now. And in a couple hours, we'll open pre-markets, and then by 9:30, we'll have the market open. Cool? Sounds good? Oh my gosh. I will do it one day, dude. One day we'll do it. One day, 24 hours, bro. One day. In the new apartment, we will do it 24 hours. It'll be fun. We'll figure it out one day. I have no self-control. You got to log off. Never thought I'd be watching a 24-hour investing live stream. Eventually, we will do it. Oh my gosh. I am pretty tired, bro. Today was a long day. Today was a long day on planet Earth, bro. Isn't it crazy that we live on planet Earth? Like, all of us at the same time live on this one planet. Like, all of us at the same time are living on one freaking planet. Do a 24-hour stream when NVIDIA hits 10 trillion. We're going to have to do it before that. Maybe when we do it, NVIDIA will be 5 trillion by then, bro. Maybe. Dude, we're all on this one planet currently right now. Literally. Oh God, he's ranting. I'm not ranting. I didn't even start the rant. I just introduced one sentence to create the precipice of what could be a foundational element of a potential rant, but I have not started the ranting. Is precipice even a word, bro? How that? What part of my subconscious came up with that? How do you even spell precipice? What does that mean? Precipice? Dude, what is this word? How did this make sense? A very steep rock. If I didn't just find the definition of this, would you guys have said that that word makes no sense? That sounded like it made sense. The precipice for a foundation of a rant. Tell me that didn't sound like it made sense. See, this is how my mind works. I will fill in the sentence with a word that has nothing to do. It makes no logical sense, but it sounds like it does. So there we go. Precipice. A very steep rock. What is the other meaning? A precarious or threatening situation. Okay, so that's another part of it, but I don't think I used it correctly from that. But Vlad has said this. Carpa said this. Well, it sounded like it made sense. So there it is. Anyway, what I was saying is, like, we are all living on one planet at the same time, living the same hours. We are all, to be honest, bro, like, now that this day is done, for some people your day is starting. We finished okay, for at least people that are going to sleep soon. We finished one day of a life that eventually will have no more days left. And I don't mean to get morbid here, but that's kind of crazy, bro. You have a limited number of days, and we just finished one of those days. Like, from a fundamental perspective on the nature of existence, that is kind of wild. One of those days is gone. It's done. Yeah, yesterday was history. Yesterday was history. That's deep, right? I just thought of that. That is deep. It's deep. Yeah, I do think that is pretty deep. I think you need sleep. Oh my gosh. Love when a myth gets philosophical on it. It's true though, bro. We all spent this day. We all spent the last 3 hours together, and now the day is done. And we are officially, done with this moment of life. We got to experience Grok being introduced. And now we move on to the next day. And then the next day, and then the next day, and then the next day. And then eventually the days are done. And that's it. Bro thinks the world revolves around him. I do not think that. Unless it's a simulation, that's also true. That's also true. And then now we are supposed to sleep, log off. Dude, why do you guys want me to sleep so badly? Why do you guys want to... Sleeping is just like missing life, to be honest. Like, honestly, when you're sleeping, you're missing being alive. It's basically dying for 8 hours. Like, sleeping is basically being dead for 8 hours and then coming back to life. It's kind of deep, if I say so myself. Sleeping is basically you're dead for 8 hours. In a metaphorical sense, you're not literally dead, but you're not alive technically. You're not like technically you are alive, but you're not experiencing life. And then you wake up, and then you get back into life mode. Like, have you ever had that fourth wall moment? They call it fourth wall. Have you ever had that moment where you hit a fourth wall and then you realize, like, holy crap, I'm a human being and I'm like living in this physical body, and I'm like, I honestly, I think I started having those moments back when I was like in 4th grade, and it was kind of scary. I don't know how I started like thinking that deep in 4th grade, but it is kind of weird. And then you realize you're like a legit human. Yeah, some of you guys have said we've had it. Give me your dealer's number. I need to get my milk dealer, bro, or Steve's milk dealer. This dude gets high without the actual drugs. Truman Show. Yeah, I've never seen the movie, but I've heard of the movie with Jim Carrey. I got to watch it one day. I think I would enjoy that movie, but I've never seen it. But I watched a documentary on Jim Carrey, and they talked about that movie. Yeah, you look at your ear and you're like, we have ears. Yes, exactly. It's that moment where you just look in the mirror and you're like, dude, I have ears. Like I have a hand. I have like it's wild, bro. I didn't look in the mirror 2 days ago when I wore my outfit, my jersey hoodie outfit, but still. It is what it is. Steph on the Tylenol right now. You guys don't believe you can get high on Tylenol. I think you can. I've felt it. I've experienced it before. All right, do we actually sleep? Do we call it a night? It's only 1:30 to be honest. It's not really that late. Like I could sleep at 4 and still be ready for the market open. I feel like I could do that. Dude, Steve's definitely sleeping right now. I don't think anyone's awake. Do you wear shorts over sweats? Yes. I mean, in the winter, yes, but not recently. Admit I've been high through this whole thing, so I'm entertained thoroughly. Yeah, I mean, seeing all that Grok stuff while you were high probably could have been a fun experience. Chris ain't sleeping. Today might be his day. Does Chris work on Thursdays at night? I don't know. Chris might be sleeping right here. I don't know if he works on Thursdays. If I would call him though, he's probably busy in work. Steve definitely wouldn't pick up. Matt's definitely sleeping. See, if Chris was awake, dude, he'd be in the chat. I know he would be. He'd be here right now. He would definitely be, because if he's not actually working, he would be in this live. Otherwise, he'd be too bored. Chris just posted on X, did he? Let me see. Is he actually awake? Yeah, he did. No, he is awake. All right, let's call him. Let's see. He just let's call him. Let's see if he's awake. Let's see if he picks up. Let's see.
What's up, dude? What's going on?
Bro, I'm live right now.
Oh, what's going on? How's everything?
It's good. What have you been doing the past few hours?
Working.
But I can see.
I work overnight.
Yeah, but I can see you're tweeting right now. It doesn't really look like you're working.
I mean, I'm like on call, so yeah.
I'm just saying. Everyone was like, "Call Chris." I'm like, "But Chris is working." They're like, "He just posted on X." I'm like, "Oh, he did just post on X, didn't he?"
I mean, unless I get a ticket or something where something's like on fire, I'm pretty much chilling right now. I took care of all my. So I'll tell you my work routine. I get in, I check in on all the open tickets that I have to deal with, and if there's anything that comes my way that's an emergency, I deal with it. If not, then I just have like a few tasks here and there that I knock out, and yeah.
Okay,
it's
so
a freaking great job overnight.
Yeah, you get paid for basically working 1 hour a night. It's amazing, dude. It's phenomenal.
So the way that I would put it is, think of it like a fireman, right? Just because a fireman doesn't get called for 7 hours out of the 1 hour doesn't mean that we shouldn't pay them for 7 hours.
That's fair.
Because I become the most important, like I am the least important person in the world right now to a lot of people, but the 11 hospitals that are in my network, if something happens overnight around this time, I become the most important person in a heartbeat.
Right.
So that's what you're doing. You're paying me to basically be alive and take care of shit when shit hits the fan, and then manage a bad situation so that, thousands of people aren't panicking and dealing with issues. So yeah.
Okay, so I'm showing your tweet. This is the market cap of a non-tech company that a lot of people have overlooked, but was one of the biggest winners in the last 2 years. Can you guess who? So put in the chat. Who can you guess? The market cap went from like 10 billion in 2000 to 95 in 2025.
Well, the more important thing is looking at it in 2020. See what happened in 2020 post-COVID and where it is now. And it's a non-tech company.
Is this Shark
Which
Ninja?
shocks people. Nope.
It's not J&J, is it?
Nope.
Costco? No. Costco is way bigger than this. Right.
Royal Caribbean Cruise Lines.
Of course.
See, I think people, the thing is, when it comes to like multi-baggers, I think what it is people tend to focus on, okay, just total company growth. But if you just do some digging, yes, company growth is important, but also right-sizing the balance sheet and taking advantage of situations where other people, are ignorant of. So, if you look at the cruise lines, and a lot of them have really outperformed. Like you look at Royal Caribbean, they went from $30 to $330. Carnival Cruise Lines at its low point was around $6, and now it's $28, right?
Yeah.
Norwegian, I think at one point was like $5 or $6, and then it went all the way to 30, and then kind of came back down a little bit. So as these businesses, they improve their balance sheets, they improve their earnings, and they pay down the debt. That earnings boost guides them higher and actually gets them back to a growth trajectory that gives them amazing returns. So yeah, look at that. Royal Caribbean, like I said, a lot of people the last 2 years, they ignored it. They're like, oh, cruise lines, like what's so big about that? But if you look at how much free cash flow these companies generate, also the amount of share buybacks they're able to do, and how much free cash they're able to throw at investors via dividends and all the sorts of other things, it's pretty insane.
Did you see all this Grok new introduction for Grok 4?
I watched it for a brief bit about how they're going to answer the most craziest human questions for man. I think Elon was a little bit somber about the whole thing. He's like, the world is going to end, so I just want to be alive to see it.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm just going to create artificial intelligence to, they know that this is like a weapon of mass destruction on the economy, but they're like, well, if anyone's going to destroy it, it might as well just be us.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm gonna end my stream. We've been live for a couple hours, and we watched.
Yeah. What have you guys been talking about?
AI. We were playing with Grok because we got the newest version of it.
See, the thing when it comes to AI for me is that it's not hype, right? Like if you go to the year 2000 with the internet, we all knew it wasn't hype. The thing is, though, the valuations on a lot of companies that are supporting this thing, they take it to a huge, to the next extent. And the thing is, when does the value plateau in terms of cost? And anyone who can answer that question is going to be a very rich man going forward, because they'll be able to pinpoint exactly when the things turn, right? So right now, everyone is looking at NVIDIA. And that's one of the things that I've been trying to figure out, this growth rate that NVIDIA has right now, that's triple digits. Next year, it's going to fall down to probably around 70, 80%. It's the law of big numbers. And then the year after that, it might fall down to 20, 30%. And at what point does the spending moderate, right? And then based on that spending moderation, what part of their income is going to end up going towards things like share buybacks that supports the stock price, not necessarily the market cap itself. And then what are the next things that are being cooked up that could theoretically be another growth curve? So my biggest fear that comes from companies like NVIDIA is that they are cyclical businesses in nature. So they're, and I know a lot of people are just going to disagree with me, totally understand, but semiconductor businesses, they have these periods where they are at the top, and then the market kind of catches up, and then things come down, and then they recover again, and they become really important. So you look at Intel, you look at AMD, they've had moments of weakness. Same thing with the other ones. So there is one trigger point that I've been focusing on that I think could give us a canary in the coal mine situation with regards to NVIDIA future demand. And that is high bandwidth memory. So if there's any weakness in high bandwidth memory demand, then you could theoretically say, oh, okay, we might have a problem with NVIDIA going forward. I think purely if you're looking at just NVIDIA as like your like telltale sign when to get out because the cycle is over or where we are in the cycle, then you kind of might miss it. But if you look at every single AI cluster, they need high bandwidth memory. And there's three major suppliers that supply everything: Samsung, SK Hynix, and Micron. And Micron kind of, the CEO of Micron kind of alluded to something along the lines of, hey, demand is really strong, but, and he put it very, generously, but it wasn't like a strong but, some of the demand might be a little bit front loaded because of the trade tariffs. So a lot of companies may have been like, oh, we want to get ahead of this thing. And they might have ordered beforehand. And so if there's like a normalization period, that could lead to some very, very short-term weakness. But in terms of like total demand for 2025, it's super strong. And then, of course, there's the hyperscalers. Like, you want to keep an eye on the hyperscalers. The hyperscalers are signaling that they're going to be pulling back on unlimited CapEx. That could also lead to some, I wouldn't say downside, but it's just growth deterioration, in which case, as an investor, if you're paying for a company and it's growing way beyond its fundamentals, then it's going to go from a growth company to a value company. Right? So if you look at Apple and the performance on Apple over the last 4 years, it's not that this company is not a good company that's buying back a ton of shares. It's just that they transitioned in 2020 from a growth company to a value company, right? That's why the returns on Apple since 2021, if you look at it like on a relative basis, they haven't been exactly like the greatest returns on the planet. I mean, they're still good, but they're not amazing returns. Any opinions on that?
I agree with you. I mean, I think you have a lot of good points there. Obviously, the ROI from all of this is going to be what matters. I'm also really sleepy, so I'm about to knock out, bro. So
yeah.
I gotta go to bed. But everything you're saying makes sense. I mean, I don't know if that means buy Micron over NVIDIA, though.
No, I'm not saying buy Micron. I'm just saying keep an eye on Micron.
Yeah.
Because Micron will tell you, hey, what kind of demand is out there, right? So if you think about how AI chips are, you need these high bandwidth memory chips. Ask Jose tomorrow about it, and he'll tell you, like, hey, look, theoretically, if SK Hynix or Micron came out and said, look, demand for high bandwidth memory is shrinking significantly, what does that mean for NVIDIA going forward? That would be a really good question for someone like that to answer.
Yeah.
Because I think there's a direct correlation with high bandwidth memory and GPU demand.
Dude, when do you sleep?
During the day, whenever I get a chance.
No, but like what, 10 a.m., 11 a.m.?
10, 11, 12, whatever. Like, if there's an earnings report in the morning, then I usually wait till the earnings report is done and then go to sleep then. And if the earnings report's in the afternoon, I go to sleep early and then I wake up around 4. But it's all over the place. That's one of the hardest parts about working overnight, is that you have this period where you're basically awake at night, and so your body gets used to it. And then in the morning time, on like, let's say Saturday or Sunday, and you want to go do something, you can't because you're tired. Yeah. And so your Saturday and Sunday is messed up because you're catching up on basically, your body has to readjust, and then you have to go back to readjusting again Sunday night. So you never really get this steady thing. And if you know anything about like the human body, it likes consistency. The more inconsistent you are with your sleeping, with everything else, the higher chance it is that you'll not develop the greatest mental and physical conditions. So yeah, so a lot of those things. So eventually, the goal is to get off a night shift and maybe just work. I'm not even sure if I want to work, to be honest with you. Maybe I'll do part-time or something. But yeah, just that's the eventual goal.
So
I'm not sure
this
when
is when this is when you do research, like during this time right now.
Sometimes, but most of the times I'm usually like focused on like some tasks that I have at work. But if I do get some free time, then yeah, I'll just look around for stuff and I'll research stuff. But most of the time, I do have like day-to-day like things I have to upkeep with. But yeah.
All right. Well, it's good stuff. We will talk to you later this week.
Let me know about Miami whenever.
Yo, bro, I'll let you. It's looking like August 24th on Sunday, the whole day. So that weekend is probably. I'll confirm soon, but.
All right, sounds good. Have a good night.
Should be fun. Yeah. All right. Good night. All right. So, anyway, back to usual. What were we talking about? We got to finish the conversation we were talking about. Why do you guys want to sleep so badly, bro? It's not even 2 a.m. yet, bro. It's not even 2 a.m. Dude, I could do a 24. I'm not going to do it today, but I could do a 24-hour stream. That's going to be light work. It's going to be light work. Literal light work. Sniper. Oh, I'm going to be meeting Adam Bergman tomorrow. We're going to get lunch tomorrow. He's going to be coming through my side of Jersey, so we'll be meeting him tomorrow. Oh, that wasn't a yawn. That was just me breathing. To open my mouth wide to get all the oxygen. Dude, isn't oxygen one of the craziest concepts ever? Like, you can't even see it. It's just like literally oxygen's right here, right? Like it's in front of me right now. I can't even, I don't even know how to describe it. It's just like this right here is oxygen. This is oxygen. I can take a deep breath and I just inhaled some, like that is actually, I don't think we've analyzed how crazy it is that oxygen is just in front of us at all moments. Well, that's deep, bro. It's pretty deep. Just saying. I love this wow with all these exclamation points. This is exactly how I feel right now. This is what I feel. I hop in and bro's talking about oxygen at midnight. Oh my gosh. All right, I think it's time to actually sleep. It's time to sleep. It's time to go to bed. Oh, wait, someone sent a super chat. Amit, does the 7.4 trillion in money markets really mean it will eventually make its way to the markets? No, but the average money markets for the past 15 years has been about 3 trillion. So we're kind of up by another 4.4 trillion. So not all of it will make its way into markets, but I would not be surprised if at least 500 billion to $1 trillion. I mean, after the 2008 Great Recession in 2009, you had about 550 billion leave money market funds and specifically come into equities. There will always be a good couple trillion in there, but if you have anywhere close to a trillion leave, not to mention a couple trillion leave and enter the markets, I mean, that's a lot of liquidity that would be coming in. It's probably not all 7.4 trillion. The air in my breath is pure fire. Amit is holding us hostage. I'm not holding you hostage. You guys, anyone can leave right now. Why did I click on my YouTube app? I'm just saying, like, oxygen is pretty deep. If my daughter hears all this yapping, she will disown me. You know, I want to have 3 kids one day. I want to have 2 daughters and 1 son. I think that would be so cool. I want 3 kids. Honestly, I want 4 kids. You know, why not have 5 kids? I want a lot of kids, bro. I want to start a big ass family. I've only had 1 sister, and I love my sister, but it would be cool to have multiple siblings. And I don't have that. I have a couple cousins back in India, but I want to have at least 3 kids. I want to do that. How many wives? Oh my gosh. That's actually funny. That's really funny. Bro's absolutely okay. If I am late for the market open, at least you guys will vouch for me. And you guys will know we were talking about oxygen tonight. So that's why. Having kids is awesome. Admit I have 2 and they really made my life more enriching. Yeah, dude, I think I would love to have some kids. I think that going down that, it's not for everybody, but that type of life, I think it would be really cool to have a big family with a bunch of kids. All right, I think we actually end it. I think that's it. I'm done. I think I will be able to make the market open tomorrow. I won't be late. If I am, I have a valid. I would literally, my excuse is I was live streaming Grok. Like, no one can get mad at me if I'm late because I was working at night. I was working. I was live streaming Grok. That's like a legit reason to be late. Like, that's not like me oversleeping because I'm like just like lazy. That's like, no, there was a reason. So if I am late, I'll have justification. But I think we'll be on time. I think we should be good. All right. That is it. We will do a 24-hour stream eventually. And yeah, the new apartment. Dude, I can do a 24-hour stream. As you guys can see, I can freaking, that's going to be easy, bro. 24 hours, might as well do 48. 24 is going to be nothing, bro. Market open, market close is like half of that. And then I'll just call Chris and ask him about stuff. And if we could have actual guests in the apartment though the whole time, like if Steve could be there, like that'd be like a cool idea. We got to do that. All right, cool. That's it. Thank everybody. I'll be back for the market open in about 7 hours. We'll be live and we will keep going from there. Thank everybody. I'll see you guys in the morning. Not going to be late. I'll be on time for the market open. Bye, everybody. Have a good one.